Joe. That ain't even good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wake up! Stop this one!
Frizzle F tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. Thibodeau.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis Powell.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
That's right, you got us right here on The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. We got to get to Tyvis Powell in just a second with an update, see how things went yesterday. And we love sports for a lot of different reasons. And the unexpected, the walk-off home run, the last-second buzzer beater shot, or firing a coach who's been maybe your best coach you've had in 25 years, just took you to the Eastern Conference Finals, and yeah, go ahead and fire him. Yeah, go ahead and fire him. We can do that as well. The Knicks, I think, deserve every little bit of what they get after they get rid of Tom Thibodeau yesterday. Plenty of NFL coming up for you over the next 3 hours as well. We'll get to the huddle. 15 NFL signings that could break out or flop for their new teams, and there's some former Buckeyes on there as well. And Tyvis, I am so excited to talk about some new seating at Ohio State, and I will be begging for tickets in the 3 o'clock hour. Somebody's got to have those tickets. Somebody's going to get them from some new premium seating over there at the Shoe. So we got that all coming up for you this morning across 3 hours on T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. But we can go no further. Tyvis, how'd it go yesterday, man? You had the procedure. You had things kind of going on. How was it, my man?
You know, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was a long day. Obviously,
Sure.
I got there about 9:15.
Okay.
You know, we got on the table around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And I finished everything about 6-ish. I would say
Wait. 6 o'clock at night?
6 p.m., yes. It's a long process.
Oh, my. I had no idea. I love the headwear.
Oh,
You
thank
can
you.
watch it on YouTube. To see.
Thank you. I'm buying it.
Your headphones. I noticed. I was like, how'd you put your headphones on, man? I love
Listen, we gotta adjust today. You know what I'm saying? You gotta roll with the punches today.
Exactly. You gotta adapt. We'll do it. You're looking great, man. I love it. Dude, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a marathon.
So it's
man.
a three-step process. You know,
Okay.
first day you come in and they lay you down on your face. You know, they pluck the back of your head. You know,
Okay.
that process takes a couple of hours to do because they want to get the right grafts out and make sure that those are the ones that they can use.
Sure.
After that, they flip you. Well, I had a lunch break after that. I had some roosters.
nice.
So shout out to roosters.
Shout out Roosters.
Had some
Always
roosters.
Always
Then I came back, flipped me over. Then they plucked the holes in your forehead or in your head where they're going to put the grafts.
Okay.
And then the final steps is actually inserting the grafts in those spots. So it's a long day, but
That's a long day.
I tell you what, today I woke up pain free. So I'm not in any pain.
Good.
And I'm not even on any pain meds right now. So that tells you how good I really feel. I tell you what, you remember when you was a kid and you got in trouble and you got a whooping and you went to bed after that?
That's what it felt like when you were done.
It's literally some of the best rest. I went to bed at like 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it's not like
best.
you're just like you're just like that tired, like you said. That's a long day, bro. Like it's gonna look great. It'll all be worth it.
At some point I'll take this turban off so people can see what it looks like. Actually, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it just looks like. Look like I got some rice pellets on my forehead right now, but actually, it doesn't look bad at all.
Do somebody's in the chat? They said they want with that hat a Pirates logo and like an eye patch. I guess it's kind of like a pirate.
Oh, they want me to do it up all the way.
Did that do it all the way? Yeah, we talk some Pirates. Poor Paul Skeens over there, by the way. Oh my gosh, but. So now, so where are you at now? What are the rules? You just can't, no headphones, no hats.
Yeah, you can't wear no hats for at least a couple of days. I got this. Okay. I still got the headband around my head right now.
Sure,
I have to wear that until tomorrow. That can come off tomorrow. But right now, you just don't want anything hitting those grafts, which is why I have this bonnet pulled down so far so it don't hit none of the grass because it's like right on my forehead. But yeah, it's good, man.
It looks good, man. It's gonna be great.
I'm gonna show you at some point of this show. I'm gonna take it off so everybody can really see what it looks like. And trust me, it's not painful.
You better go subscribe. 97.1 The Fan, the YouTube side of things. Everything that you need is there, so you better check it out. There's another reason. There's so many reasons to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and now we have just added one more. Somebody said you got to get a smoker's jacket to go with it.
Yeah, they had a line in the chat today.
They're on it. They're going to be on that YouTube chat, so go check that out. So happy to be with everybody this morning on T-Bone and Tyvis. Well, speaking of people not places, Tom Thibodeau no longer with the New York Knicks. And, Tyvis, that was when things happen in sports, right? And there's always moves, and there's always players traded, and there's always, coaches fired and things like that. And I think it's so crazy that in the NBA that we had one of the biggest transactions in league history with Luka getting traded. And I saw just not the outcry, but you check out social media, and when you see everybody is like on the same page of that was what the blank just happened and what the hell just happened. Tyvis, I saw yesterday just basically unanimous of what the hell are the Knicks doing, and why are they getting rid of Tom Thibodeau? Your furthest run in 25 years. Players seem to love him. Jalen Brunson was right after the season talking about Tibbs trying to, I don't want to say at that point trying to save his job, but he went out on a limb to basically make it known that he's a big fan of Tom Thibodeau. And here the Knicks, they fire him. Why? Nobody really seems to know. And now the list of candidates come out. I get there's a lot of other former NBA head coaches and some that have won championships.
Mike Malone is like the hot name right now because he just left Denver. But to be honest with you, when I seen this happen, it's so funny because just last year, this was the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs made it as far as they've ever made it in the postseason post LeBron James. And boom, they fired J.B. Bickerstaff. And, there was a lot of push and pull on that. Some people was like, no, they should have never did that. I mean, he literally he made them better every single year. They were getting further in the playoffs every year. And yet the Cavs decided to can him. And I think the same thing is happening with the Knicks fans right now, to where it's just like, this is the furthest we've been since 2000. He's had 50-win seasons almost every year he's been here. They've made the playoffs 4 out of the 5 years that he's been here. And like the Cavs thought, I guess the Knicks must feel the same way that the Cavs felt, to where, Tom Thibodeau was great for what he's doing, but he's not a championship coach. They felt like they need to go get another guy that can take them to that next step. Thibs did a great job of building the foundation, just like JB. JB did a great job building the foundation and having young guys come in there and understand how to be successful in the NBA. But I think the Knicks are looking like we need somebody else to come in and help take this team the rest of the way because they don't believe Tibbs could do that.
I think the Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, that probably might be the best example, where it was like, hey, Mark Jackson got us so close out with Golden State, and we need something else, to that point, to kind of get us over top of that and get us to a championship level. And Leon Rose, when he sent his statement out yesterday from the Knicks, that's what they said. They go, we're going to be unwavering of our pursuit for a championship, and they're going to continue to push for that. I don't know why there were also reports that Rose was wanting to keep Tibbs and everybody wanted. So all of a sudden to come out now and flip course and say, well, it's about the pursuit of championships. You got the furthest you've gotten in 25 years with this roster. And there were certainly questions about it, and I've got a crazy Karl Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant trade idea that we'll get to a little bit later in the show that actually does make a little bit of sense there, but we'll discuss it. And I guess like anything, Tyvis, it's the chicken or the egg. It's the player or the coach, right? Are you going to look at this team that I think that Knicks roster was, I'm going to say extremely well built because obviously they're not going to the finals, but I liked the roster construction.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of it, and maybe that's it where, dude, we traded for Cat. We bring in Bridges. You still have Brunson. You've got Hart. You've got, you lost Isaiah Hartenstein, but you still had Mitchell Robinson. That team was so well built. We went, I don't want to say all in with Cat because I'm not a big I think Julius Randle's a fine player, but I thought the Knicks were going to win that trade. And if he didn't show up, then don't you just kind of put that on Karl Anthony Towns? There was a lot of reports about the defense he was playing, or maybe lack thereof.
Lack of playing.
But that's hard, man, because you got to be sitting there if you're Tom Thibodeau. pointing fingers saying, what else did you want me to do? And now he's out of a job.
Yeah, I mean, like Cat was really great, and obviously when he won, was doing things well offensively. That's what was helping them win games. Mm-hmm. It was just nice that he didn't show up, and it was games where he would even take him out and roll with Mitchell Robinson. And then I think in the last game, or it was either game 6 or game 5, one of those games, they actually started Cat and Mitchell Robinson. And I thought, okay, that's a great adjustment. And, they started off pretty good, but obviously it went away. So, as good as Cat was offensively, he's got to be better defensively as well. And Tibbs want guys that play hard. I mean, he grinds his players all year. Like, these guys play I don't know the stats in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the Knicks players probably played the most minutes in the regular season because he believes in playing hard-nosed defense and playing it for every game you play out there. So, guys can be fatigued when they get to the playoffs because, the legs is just gone. And that looks like that could have been a part of the problem as well.
So now, where do the Knicks go? I would say it's a coveted job. It is the Knicks, and they do have that solid roster. I saw something yesterday, Tyvis, that made me pause and stop and kind of get mad for a second as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan about the next coach of the Knicks. We'll run through some of those options, and could they trade for a coach? What coaches across any sport would you trade for today? You need a coach for your football team, your hockey team, your baseball team, your basketball team. Who is one coach above the rest that you would trade for? We'll get to it next. This is Thibodeau and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, the roads are looking pretty good if you're stepping out the door on this Wednesday. All areas leading into the metro are looking just fine with your drive times. Taking a closer look at the Etna-Pataskala area, if you're making your way out the door, looking good. 70 westbound and eastbound. 40 eastbound looking great as well at 53 miles per hour. As for your drive time southbound, 71 South Frink Road to 270 will only take you 2 minutes. 7 minutes, though, 270 South Broad Street to 70. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And Bet and Reduce Juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Now is the time to get your body right. Stop going through life dealing with pain. Remember the good days where you were able to play sports with your friends? Now you're losing to your kids in activity. It's time to take the crown back. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell for QC Kinetics. They are different. These are not quick fixes. This is a revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief. You'll meet face-to-face with Dr. Aaron Wilkoff and the QC Kinetics medical team. They'll teach you how their regenerative treatment takes your body's own healing power and helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular level treatments. QC Kinetics has helped myself and tens of thousands of people right here in the Columbus area. They'll get to the root of your pain and fix it. You will be showing your kids who's boss, just like old times. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Save big money on everything now at Menards. Keep your garage, basement, or workshop clean with a new wet, dry vacuum from Shop Vac. It's not only perfect for the garage, but also works great for everyday messes around the house. Save big on Shop Vac when you shop at Menards. Check out all our Shop Vac products in store. And don't forget to view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company for your next vehicle.
This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm getting married today.
You may now kiss the bride.
I'm also a firefighter and first responder. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're also making sure I can get to my wedding ceremony to start the next chapter of my life.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start the day off dry and muggy. It is going to be mild as well, and then we get hot, humid, and hazy this afternoon with temperatures in the upper 80s to right around 90. It'll be another mild night tonight, but then for Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast. Some could be severe with damaging wind gusts. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with our highs in the low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
One of these guys still believes he can play in the NFL. It's Thibodeau. He says it's because of his low center of gravity. He's dumb. This is Bone and Tyvis.
So now the Knicks need a head coach. Where do they go? A list that has some obvious answers to it. And then I saw something yesterday, Tyvis, that it made me stop my tracks for a second as a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. There's no way that it would happen, but I want to get to the conversation about what coaches would you trade for in professional sports. It's T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week here on 971 The Fan. And so the shocking news yesterday, the Knicks move on. They fire Tom Thibodeau. The list comes out, and you mentioned one, Tyvis, like Mike Malone's going to be right top of that list, like Mike Budenholzer's up there, former NBA guys that are kind of hanging around. Now, there was something, and I didn't want to give validity to where I saw it because they were odds.
One of them Twitter handles.
It was kind of like that, man, and it was an unsavory sports book. I'll just say that. I'm going to say.
If it ain't, if it ain't Prime Sportsbook Ohio, we ain't mentioning it.
We're not mentioning it. And that's the thing. Prime Sports is legitimate. So they would not have put out a list like this. So that's why we're not even going to talk about that. It's all about Prime Sports. They had Kenny Atkinson on the list. Okay? And everybody goes, wait a minute. They go, Kenny Atkinson? He's the coach of the Cavs. He just won Coach of the Year. And it got me thinking not about if I was a Cavs fan, like, I'm not giving Kenny Atkinson up. They could, Doc Rivers got traded for an unprotected. Well, okay, maybe. See, I don't want an unprotected. I don't want to think about it. I'm not even going to think about it. So Kenny Atkinson,
it's ridiculous.
It's insane. What coach in sports would you trade for, though?
If I could trade for a coach,
any coach, any sport, like I'm thinking about the elite of the elite, and I get that anybody at any time. There's some coaches that people look at and they go, oh, they're overrated, or it's all about their players. And there's other coaches that you're like, nope, this guy is everything that you talk about. And I was just thinking about all sports, like even college football. Like, again, I know the Michigan thing.
Well, I ain't trade. Nobody's trading Ryan Day.
No, we're not trading Ryan.
Not right now. I mean, he's right now on fire. You can't trade him.
I thought more of like somebody would come calling for Ryan Day. I think they would.
They probably would.
Look at the recruiting.
But I don't think Ohio State, first of all, I don't know what you would trade in college.
No, you can't do it.
What, you going to give us 10 scholarships or something?
Here's
like
some NIL salary cap.
No, I think when this question came up, it made me think of the NFL. It made me think, although everybody, Kevin Stefanski, whether you like him or love him or hate him, this guy was 2-time coach of the year. But if I was going to trade him for another coach, I was thinking of somebody along the lines of a Sean McVay, because I think he's
a good answer.
Or a Kyle Shanahan. Those guys are, the reason being is because those guys are, I consider those two to be offensive geniuses, and I think that when you look at this offense from last year, ranked 32nd, I think Jim Schwartz would do a great job with the defense. I think the offense needs to be tweaked, but you look at what Kyle Shanahan has done, he took Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant, and made him a really good quarterback. You see Sean McVay, yes, he got Matt Stafford, but before that it was Jared Goff. And they were able to go to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and nobody thought that highly of Jared Goff at that time. So, given the Browns situation currently, I would think that one of those two guys would actually be nice to come in here and, be innovative and, take a roster that maybe doesn't seem as talented and make the best of it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm also a big Kyle Shanahan believer, and I think he is one of the best coaches in football. And there's like that element of trading for him. Like, I think Andy Reid, we did that list of the quarterbacks and the coaches. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes 1-1. Like, it's probably Andy Reid, but he's a little older.
Yeah, he's older, though. Yeah.
That's harder. I was with you on McVay and Shanahan. Basketball, I think the answer is Eric Spoelstra.
Oh, he's the only answer.
Probably. Like, what about, like, Mark Daigneault, who's with the Thunder now, and he won Coach of the Year. He's got his team in the finals. Like, you think that's more team maybe than him?
I mean, he also is it's not like they got a ton of stars. I mean, SGA is like the only head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA star. You got a bunch of guys that just bought into what he was selling, and he sells defense, and obviously those guys have really taken pride in that. So, when you look at the Cavs, I didn't think like the defense was a problem like that. I mean, I know they weren't ranked like one under JB. They were really good defensively. But I think that when you look at the Cavs, their problem is that they don't have anybody outside of Donovan Mitchell in the postseason that's going to show up on a night-to-night basis, and that is where they need to get to.
It's funny you say that too, Tyvis, because it's like that balance of coaching and the athletes, and every sport is different. Where if you, especially if you have a football coach that's calling plays, like how massively important that is to your team. Basketball is important, but like I think I kind of always lean more towards I'll take a talented roster, and I know they run plays and what defensive set you want to have and things like that. Baseball, I don't, and I'm not trying to downplay like Terry Francona and some of the best. Think about baseball too, and it's like the legacy types of managers. Like, yeah, Dave Roberts is great with the Dodgers. Dude, I think I could almost win a World Series with that Dodgers roster.
Yeah.
Gee, lineup today, I think I'm going to put that Ohtani guy in there. Go ahead and let him play. Like, even Aaron Boone, which, all those Yankees, man, that game upset me yesterday as a Guardians fan. We'll get to that a little bit later. But, like, Aaron Judge is going to play. The lineup, I guess pitching changes about when you pull guys out in that. But, basketball is that job in New York will be coveted because I do think it is a good roster. I think it's hard because you're in New York and people are always going to be, you got to deal with the media and the fans and things like that. But I would say, and knowing that there's only a couple other jobs that were open that are now closed, I mean, it's pretty much picking the litter for them of, who do you want? Do you want Malone? Do you want Budenholzer? What do you like more? You'll get them, and I don't think there's going to be much of a fight to be able to get a coach in there.
Yeah. What's crazy is that I wonder why a guy like Mark Jackson never got another opportunity.
That's a great question.
Like, it's always been a mystery that, obviously with Golden State, no, he wasn't Steve Kerr, but those Golden State teams were on the come up, on the rise. I felt like, for a team that's, like that was like the Pistons that need a coach that helps them get the foundation, like a JB. I felt like Mark Jackson could have did that somewhere else, like maybe go to like a Utah or something like that and just, help build it up. Obviously, I don't know if he'll be able to take them all the way because that's what Golden State thought, but I thought he should at least have gotten another shot in the NBA.
I was also wondering, because right after he returned, he went back into the broadcasting side of things, and he did obviously, unfortunately, get let go and all that kind of stuff. But he's part of that, and maybe just didn't really feel like it was a part of that anymore, and just kind of wanted to move on. Jay Wright reportedly out, so he doesn't, and which is crazy because of all the Villanova guys that are on that team. But then the other one that got brought up a lot was Dan Hurley, and he got brought up a lot last year to leave UConn. And then for the Lakers gig, he signed that big extension, which a lot of people thought, okay, he used that as a good job, like a good negotiating tactic there for UConn. But also the Huskies didn't have quite the year that they had the year prior. I wonder if he's really maybe rethinking that. In addition, I would have, okay, so Jay Wright, it came out this morning, he reportedly said, no, he's in retirement, he's done. Mm-hmm. Which, again, wouldn't that be the first thing that you would say, though, Tyvis, if they came calling? No, I'm happy in retirement, I'm good.
Make sure just to see what the figure is.
You always got to see the number. You always got to see the number.
You got to play hardball on this one. They come at you with $10 million. I mean, it's like, you know what? If retirement's been good for me. And then they going to come back and say, well, we got 25. All right, you know what? Now maybe.
Retirement's getting a little boring. Okay, all right, I'm back in. That's all I need, a little coaxing on that. So it's then, again, I would say if they want to make that splash to go get Dan Hurley, I don't buy that. I don't know. I kind of like him in college basketball. I think college basketball needs him more than the NBA. I just don't know quite. And we've had more successful college coaches come to the NBA than NFL or football coaches.
The Lakers was trying to get him last. Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
No, it was last year. It was last year because JJ Redick they got, which is crazy to think about how that went too, and how I guess maybe far-reaching it can go in the NBA. Where let's go get a guy. And I'm not trying to downplay JJ Redick. I thought he had a fine year, but he's never coached before. And we're going to take him out of the booth. He's a former player, and he played a long time, but we're going to take him out of the booth and instantly insert him to a roster that at the time just had LeBron, now has LeBron and Luka, or at the time had LeBron and AD, and one of the most coveted jobs you could find. Here, the Knicks, where we're talking about former NBA champion head coaches, we're talking about some broadcasters, and now we're talking college coaches are all on the table here for this Knicks job. So, and I would imagine the money will not be an issue, for them, and they'll try to, come up with that contract and find the best person for that job. We'll see. All right, coming up, we got to get to clip that, and I got to throw this at Tyvis. There's some big news in the fast food world and a big item making its return. We'll talk about all of it. We got it coming for you. Thibodeau and Tyvis back in 2 minutes here on The Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. Well, things are looking pretty calm and quiet on the roads this morning. That is some good news there. So we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that is starting tonight. So 71 northbound to 70 eastbound, that ramp will be closed from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. not only tonight but also tomorrow night. So good heads up there. A great detour for you, by the way. We'll be continuing northbound on State Route 315, up over to 670 eastbound, then continue up 71 northbound. Should save you a little bit of time if you're in that area. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh, my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
Center field, Friedel. At the wall! He made the catch, and the Reds win! He takes away a bomb from Bowers, and the Reds survive to tie the series. The play of the Reds season.
That was an insane catch from TJ Friedel. He gets it. 4-2 on the win, and what a call there. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan. Matt Fontana in with Tyvis Powell. The call was so good because the Bowers bomb robbed, like it just flows. And it got me thinking how electric that can be to rob a home run versus hitting a walk-off home run. And I just, that catch was insane. It was a great game. Reds get the win, and that was a lot of fun to watch, too.
I tell you what, that to me is, if I played baseball, like that would be the thing that would upset me the most, is that you just hit one and you like, yeah, and you see the guy go rob the home run. Like, but you know, to make that play, you know how athletic you have to be to time that jump perfectly and do those things. Like, it's an incredible thing about baseball, and I love seeing, you know, outfielders that can do that. You know, obviously growing up, I was a big Kenny Lofton fan, and you know, he did that all the time.
Yep. There's a skill to it, like you said. It's like there's the timing of it to get that high to be able to go to the fence, and it's also you got to be at the right park. Because there's some parks that just they're not good. I mean, not everyone's got like the Green Monster, like even in Cleveland they have the big wall out there and left, but you know, you don't have that opportunity depending on where they hit it, or even the chance like in New York, which again is just going to bother me because they play in a little league stadium and they have guys that just like, they beat the Guardians last night. Bobby pitched so well. Mm-hmm. They play in a little league park. The fences are short. The whole ballpark is short, and it lends itself more to that. And then the same thing, you go to Boston, and they have that fence out and right that comes up to everybody's waist. And Austin Jackson years ago for the Guardians, he made that catch, and he goes tumbling over it, but he still made the catch. But great win for the Cincinnati Reds last night. They did beat the Brewers 4-2. And, you know, again, the hard part on that one was they were only in that situation because of a throwing error by Ellie De La Cruz in that game, but that's all right. We'll set that aside for now. And the Reds get a nice win there at home. So, all right, Tyvis, have you seen the big fast food news? I teased this. I didn't even tell you we were going to talk about this.
No.
I saw this yesterday.
What is it?
Huge news. McDonald's permanently bringing back the snack wraps. Woo! Everybody, congratulations. They're back. We have worked very hard. And it was so funny because, and they're not back yet. They're coming back on July 10th, so you got about a month and some change to get there. And it was so funny because it was always just like a running, I felt like this became a running gag or like a viral thing about yelling at McDonald's that they took away the snack wrap. And then I thought about it and I go, McDonald's, I'm sure, is not hurting in the pockets for anything at this point. But I was like, man, think about how much more money they could be making if they brought snack wraps back. And then I got a weird comparison. You ever have your favorite band or your favorite group and they break up and you get so distraught and you're like, no, they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And then what inevitably happens 3 years later?
They're back.
Reunion tour.
Yeah.
We're going to jack the prices up. I thought about that with snack wraps, and I go, they're just taking them away to have some grandioso return when they really need it. Congratulations to everybody. We get snack wraps back in a month.
Like it was, first of all, snack wrap was something that should have never left the menu to begin with. A snack wrap to me was perfect for like, if you were hungry, but you didn't want to ruin like dinner or lunch, but you needed something just to get you there, that snack wrap came clutch so many days.
Oh, dude,
and
it
the
was
fact
perfect.
The fact that they took it away, like I was distraught. I was like, why would you take away something that is so perfect? Like it was gonna fill you up just enough to get you a couple of hours to get you to dinner. And yeah, but you know what? I will be in line for that when it comes back. You say July, is it July 10th?
July 10th.
Yeah, I would definitely be first in line with that day.
So there will be only 2 flavors coming back now. It'll be ranch and spicy. Everybody remembers honey mustard, which I think was probably the best. Dude, I didn't realize this. You know they've been gone since 2016?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I thought it was shorter than that. Like, it didn't seem like it was that long ago, but I guess everything just speeds up, as we go. But
once COVID hit, everything kind of just took off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they've been gone since 2016. McDonald's hopes to streamline offering of, it won't be the exact, like, original ones that they had, but they're trying to boost sales and appeal to inflation-wary customers seeking lower cost meals, which is kind of like, it's not funny, I guess. It's the state of our society. I always thought McDonald's was just meant to be a lower cost type of meal, but now everything's $10 and it is what it is. Despite the removal back in 2016, fans never stopped asking. A change.org petition, while TikTok videos of snack wraps garnered nearly 19,000 signatures and millions of views, wouldn't even force McDonald's to do it until now. Differences from the original. There will be no grilled chicken options, only fried.
So not the healthy options, huh?
No, and I kind of like the grilled better.
That's messed up.
Yeah. No honey mustard or sweet chili sauce. Like we said, it's just ranch and spicy. And that's it for now.
That's because fine. I'm going to try them both.
I will. I like the honey mustard, though.
A lot of people love the honey mustard.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure Burger King came back out with like some snack wraps, and they had like a honey mustard one that everybody loved.
I wonder now if like there will be a imitation's the most sincere form of flattery. Like now, I would imagine everybody else is going to try to jump back on this as well.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody has tried to or attempted to. I know Burger King did it. I think KFC tried it.
Who were the ones that had these small sandwiches? They were like they weren't a wrap, but it was like a tiny sandwich. Might have been Burger King.
I'm not hip to that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think
so they had little sliders. If you want a slider, you go to White Castle.
That is true. You don't mess with that. You want a slider, you go to White Castle. That is a 100% fact on that one. But yeah, I feel like everybody kind of tried it, and then. Like you said, it just was never going to be the same. Now, the problem is if people, and it's been a decade, so I understand that it might be a little far away for some people, but can you go in there, like Tyvis, when we go in there, and I'm with you, I'm gonna be there July 10th when it opens up. Can you really hold it to the same standard, or do you think it's going to be different? Because it's like snack wraps. Okay, I got to just say this. I think they're good and they're solid. I think the makes your heart yearn. People are maybe propping them up a little bit too much and maybe like putting them on a pedestal they don't deserve? Or do you think we're going to get in line, get there, and we're going to be like, yes, this is everything that we've wanted for the past 9 years, and we're happy it's back?
Well, I think that everybody's going to get in line, they're going to try it, and they're going to be like, man, just like old times.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to be hot for like a good week. And then I think people will go back to you getting them like I just mentioned. Like if they're like hungry, you're on your way home, you're hungry, but dinner's going to take a couple of hours. It's like, all right, well, let me stop and just get a snack wrap real quick. Like I think that's what it's perfect for, and I think that's how people are going to utilize it.
There's a study done about a market research firm that talked about fast food prices. Just in the past 5 years, they have skyrocketed 41% in just 5 years. So, like you said, this is a great option if you just want that quick, like, I can't eat a full Big Mac here, I can't get this, want something quick, but it's also going to be more about the pricing side of things with the snack wrap coming back in just about a month, which is good news for everybody. If you ever heard of the longest day in golf, we'll explain what that is. There's an Ohio State tie to it, and heartbreak for a poor UPS driver that just forgot to turn something in. We'll tell you the stories on that coming up right here. Thibodeau and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning, and some good news for your Wednesday commute. All areas leading into the metro are looking fantastic. 270, that outer belt, 315, even 23 looking all good, nice and smooth for your drive times there. Grove City, good morning to you. If you were stepping out the door, 270 eastbound's even looking better for you with your drive time about 70 miles per hour. And over to our folks in Madison County, if you're stepping out the door, US 40 east, taking that way, 16 minutes only, US 42 to 270. 11 minutes, though. 70 east, West Jefferson to 270. Not too bad for your Wednesday. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My friends at Window Nation have a great deal for you. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows free. For 2 years, you also won't have to worry about a down payment, interest, monthly payments. That's right, pay nothing until 2027. Plus, like I said, buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free. They'll even throw in a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows, all installed by their installers who specialize in installing windows. What a concept. Many of them with over 15 years of experience in the business. Look, for me, it's simple, all right? You go get your windows from Window Nation. They can be installed in 1 day or less, so you can be saving money on your energy bills right away. 96% customer satisfaction rating, over 45,000 5-star reviews. And again, that great deal. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free. No interest, no payments until 2027. 866-90-NATION is the number to call. Tell them T-Bone sent you. That's 866-90-NATION. Or you go to windownation.com and set up your free consultation today. windownation.com.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real UDF ice cream. Made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes. New from United Dairy Farmers.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm one of the at-home coaches with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Honestly, I think the thing I hear the most is I didn't realize how easy it was. That first weekly they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I already noticed that I'm not as bloated in my face or in my abdomen, or I've been sleeping better. I've been waking up with so much more energy. I don't need my coffee throughout the day. They're coming in a month or 2 later and they're like, hey, like my doctor said I need to lower my meds. I'm losing a ton of inches on my waist. I'm buying new pant sizes. And we're looking at the scale. We're like, yeah, your visceral fat's down again. That's fantastic. And we're celebrating all of these wins. And then we talk about, okay, next step. Let's talk about how to maintain it. This isn't over. This is just the next stage. That's what your health coach is there for.
Thanks, Mandy. This is Scotty Vegas. Easy weight loss with results that actually last. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will succeed and you'll enjoy the process. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
You've probably heard of speed dating, but what if there was something similar for hiring, especially if you're running a growing business? There is Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You can post your job today and talk to interested qualified candidates tomorrow. Simply select a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you'd like to connect with and meet and greet people through back-to-back video calls starting as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. In terms of the Waffle House menu, Tyvis covered and smothered his opponents. Meanwhile, T-Bone is a chunk of hash who's often covered in gravy. I'm not sure what that means either. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Dude, we're talking snack wraps, Waffle House. Now I'm just starving sitting over here. But we got you T-Bone and Tyvis this morning on The Fan. We got plenty of NFL coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We got the huddle and 15 moves across the NFL signings that can either be boom or bust for the team that signed them, including a couple of former Buckeyes. Well, speaking of former Buckeyes and former Central Ohioans, we have to give a congratulations to Max Moldovan. He is back in the U.S. Open as he qualified on the longest day in golf, and he's actually going to be playing in his 4th consecutive U.S. Open. So, Tyvis, the U.S. Open for golf is, I think it's actually one of the coolest things about professional sports, where the average person, anybody that plays golf, now you have to be to a certain skill level, but anybody can qualify to go play in the U.S. Open. It'd be like if you were really good at football, there's a path for you to sign up and one day get to go play in the NFL and live out your dreams. Now, what they call it is the longest day in golf, where there's qualifiers that you have to go through. So, like, if you or me, number one, you have to have a certain handicap. You have to be able to say that I can play golf at this level. I just can't go sign up right now, which is unfortunate. Maybe one day I'll get there, but I can't go sign up right now. So then you got to go out at these regional qualifiers. You have to play 36 holes in one day to be able to try to qualify. And there's 2 different types. So that's how Max got in. So he's in again. Shout out to Akron's Justin Lauer. He made it. He's in. And there are professional golfers, like, I don't know if you saw the story, Max Homa, who's won 5 times on the PGA Tour. He plays in most of the majors. He actually missed qualification, so he doesn't get to go. But there's 2 stories out of it, and the first one is a heartbreaker. So there's a young man out of South Carolina, and his day job is he drives for UPS. That's a great job. Actually, I'm sorry, Maryland. He's out of Maryland. And his day job is, he drives for UPS, and shout out to all of our great delivery drivers out there for whatever company they work for. And he obviously is a really good golfer. And he is able to make it to this round of qualifying. He goes out, he plays his first 18 holes. He's in contention. He's there for this opportunity. He sits down to eat a hot dog for lunch in between, realizes he's sitting on his scorecard in his back pocket. He forgot to sign and turn it in. Tyvis, he got disqualified for not turning in his scorecard. Piece of paper.
That's that might make me shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And people always, golf has got this like weird thing about like tradition and history and all this other kind of stuff. So everybody said, what? Like, we all know what he did. Like they have the scoring out there, but even on the PGA Tour, like where they have all the automated scoring and you got all these cameras and all these things, he didn't turn it in. So he shot a 68 in a local qualifier last month. He earned a spot at the 36-hole Monday qualifier at Woodmont Country Club in Rockville, Maryland. He made a birdie on his final hole to shoot an opening 73. That's not bad, but, like, it's, you're in it at least. He forgot to turn over to the scorer's tent. The two waited a couple of minutes. They signed their card. They went to grab lunch. Barrett, talking to the Baltimore Sun, said, I stood up, I had a hot dog, felt my back pocket, I felt the scorecard. As soon as I did that, my heart went to the bottom of my stomach. It's kind of hard to express the disappointment in myself because at the end of the day, it's my responsibility. I can't blame anybody but myself. It's just a total gut punch. They said 20 minutes had passed. He went straight to an official knowing what they were probably going to tell him, and they said, unfortunately, your other, the players you were with, they already signed their scorecards. You missed your window, and unfortunately, he was disqualified. So, that's just... I can't imagine the pain that would be. And again, who knows? He could have gone out there and not qualified or not had the opportunity. But to be in the hunt and something like that, you just forget to turn a scorecard in. Like, oh, man, you got to feel for him. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's – I don't know what I would do. Like, that's – especially if you play really well to qualify and now you get disqualified for something so petty. I feel like if you watched him do all these things, like, you should, like, come on, like, that's ridiculous. Like, you should still let him in. You seen that he actually performed well enough to make it. Why let him not make it because of the fact that he forgot to turn his scorecard in? Like, that's – but I understand, like, they might think people might take that 20 minutes and forge it and, switch things around. But the thing is, now we live in a society where everything is being recorded. So you could go back and check the film and see that it was what his score actually was.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm a golfer. I love the game. And there's just some of that, like, assessing penalties on yourself and like, oh, I moved a stick and it moved my ball. And like, I've not played in too many legitimate like tournaments where I have to do all these things, but I guess, listen, everybody wants to make the U.S. Open, things like that. It's going to have to happen. Now, the other side of it is a great story where a high school junior qualified for the U.S. Open. So Mason Howell came out, played, I want to see. I had his score up here for a second. But anyway, he is 16 years old, and he is going to be playing alongside Scotty Sheff. I'm going to say he's playing Scotty's group, but like he's going to be at Oakmont teeing it up against Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, and some of the best golfers in the world. All the rest of us are just trying to get going on our drivers.
I wonder,
and he's going out to play golf.
I wonder now that if he's 16, like let's say he just wins the thing, does he get to claim the money because he's not in college yet?
No.
See, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I play golf and I was considered an amateur and I won that tournament for all that money, I am not an amateur no more.
So here's this. Actually, it's funny you bring that up. This happened recently where Nick Dunlap, he's now professional. He won a tournament on the PGA Tour as an amateur. Nobody had done that since Phil Mickelson in the 90s, winning a tournament as an amateur. When you enter it as an amateur, you forfeit your prize money. You're not allowed to take it. Now, here's the other thing. They have all these exemptions is what they call them. So there's all these different ways to get in on the tour and things like that. And there are guys that they'll get on the tour, or I'm sorry, they'll get these exemptions to play in these tournaments, but only if they remain an amateur. So there are people that get invited to the Masters that have given up a spot in the Masters because they want to turn professional and they want to go play pro golf somewhere. And there's all these different ways, and it's a crazy world.
So they do let amateurs play in the Masters?
Yes, they always take.
So if they win, do they get to at least get the jacket?
No. Well, I don't know about the jacket.
I was about to say, like, come on now, I can't get the jacket.
I'll find out because Bo Hostler years ago was an amateur, and he was leading the tournament. Like after the third round, everybody goes, "Who's this guy?" And all the jacket, I don't know.
The jacket ain't got nothing. That's not no money involved. So like, I don't understand. I don't
But
understand.
you and I grew up in an era, remember, Tyvis, you couldn't get anything.
Yeah, well, that's not this era.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, we're at a different time.
They're giving out $28 million.
$28 million to Cooper Flag, Mercedes here, there, that. Can I get a green jacket? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's just interesting that somebody didn't sign a scorecard. They're out. Kid's 16 years old and qualified for the U.S. Open. All right, we got the huddle coming up. Plenty of NFL talk in the 7 o'clock hour, including 15 NFL signings that could be boom or bust for their team. 2 Buckeyes are on that list. We'll tell you who. Stay with us here. T-Bone and Tyvis on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, well, the roads are still looking pretty calm this morning, so we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be happening starting tonight. Green Lawn Avenue, if you're making your way up to 71 northbound, that ramp will be closed from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., not just tonight, but also tomorrow night. So a great detour. You'll want to take note. Take 71 southbound to State Route 104 eastbound, then hop back on to 71 northbound. A little bit ways away, but nothing too concerning as you make that detour. Again, remember, it's starting at 9 p.m., going on to 5 a.m. tonight. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gahanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A couple of impressive strikeout performances on this June 4th in Reds history. On the 4th of June, 1989, Rob Dibble, one of the members of the famous Nasty Boys bullpen, struck out the side on 9 pitches. Might not seem that rare, but we've only been able to find one other time in Reds history when that happened. And then a year later, on this date in 1990, Tim Burtsis struck out 4 batters in 1 inning when his third victim reached first base on a pass ball on the 3rd strike. That, too, is rare. Only 4 times in Reds history has a pitcher struck out 4 batters in 1 inning. A good day to whiff some hitters if you're a Reds pitcher this June 4th, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at RCDRV.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at RCDRV.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through June 30th. See store for details.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Baseball from last night in the Bronx. Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe hit back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning, and the Yankees beat the Guardians 3-2 in the opener of the 3-game set. Those two teams will go again tonight at 7:05. Luis Ortiz starts for Cleveland. At Great American Ballpark, TJ Friedl had the play of the night as he robbed Jake Bauers of a game-tying 2-run home run for the final out of the game, and the Reds beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-2. Cincinnati looks for the series win today at 12:40. Andrew Abbott is on the bump, and that one for the Redlegs. And fresh off of their deepest run in the postseason in 25 years, the Knicks fired head coach Tom Thibodeau on Tuesday afternoon. Thibs led New York to the playoffs in 4 of his 5 seasons at the helm, including a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals this past year. This update is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or online at rcvrv.com.
2 men, 1 appendix. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
All right, we got Bodie coming in with the huddle in a second. I love your last question we'll get to on the YouTube chat. Andy says, guys, if I'm leading the Masters halfway through, I'm resigning, going professional, and showing back up the next day to go win the tournament. I don't know how that worked, Tyvis. Like, you show up, you're like, yeah, I was in this tournament, I was playing I was an amateur yesterday, but today I turned professional. Congratulations.
I mean, I feel it. Like, if you're doing that well, knowing how much money you go, like, there's no way that I could just forfeit that money. Like, there's no way. And it would be an outrage. Like, I feel like I don't think it's ever happened, but the day that it does happen, like, it's going to be so many people in the golf world and in the world, period, that's going to petition for this man to get his money. Like,
let him go.
Let him get his money.
Let it. We were talking about, there's a 16-year-old kid. He's qualified for the U.S. Open. He's out there leading it. You're telling me they can't take home that? I'd be like, dude, I'm going pro.
At least give him a piece of it or something.
Something.
Like, maybe if it's $20 million, maybe give him 5 or something, man. I can't just walk away with nothing.
You know what he's going to get? Some delicious snack wraps on the way home, because that's all they're going to be able to get him. It is what it is. We got the huddle. Bodie was as it. Good morning, Bodie. How are you?
The biggest questions in the NFL are answered right here. Welcome to the huddle.
Guys, I am doing fantastic on this Wednesday morning. Hump day, Coaster Bob day for some. First Friday Miracle Day for others.
I do love Bo's first.
Yeah, we'll get to him here in about a couple hours or so, a little less than that.
This is just coffee every minute.
We'll start here, guys. AFC West. The winner has been the Kansas City Chiefs every year since 2016. That goes back to even before Patrick Mahomes took over as the starting quarterback there. That has a couple of seasons of Alex Smith there at the beginning of it. That's the second longest streak, actually, since behind only the New England Patriots, who won the AFC East every year since 2009 to 2019. That was a pretty good run there for the Pats. Nevertheless, if I gave you guys the Chiefs or the field to win that division this year, you staying with Kansas City, or is this the year that the streak gets broken?
You know, the first thing I think of, guys, is that to do streaks of like what Kansas City's doing and what the Patriots are doing, you had to have some pretty bad division opponents, or like you had the Dolphins were just tolling away, and what was his streak of beating the Jets? And I think it's now that way, Tyvis, with Patrick Mahomes, where the Raiders just kind of really haven't had much figured out. Certainly the Broncos were down for a little while, and the Chargers were always kind of in the middle. But now I think there are 3 legit franchise quarterbacks in that division now. Say what you want about Justin Herbert. I am a bit of an apologist for him, so it is what it is. And I think Bo Nix showed a lot last year in Denver. We were talking about like the most complete rosters in the NFL. A lot of people think Denver has one of the most complete rosters in the NFL. So I'll let you go first. I got a take on it. Would you take the Chiefs or the field? I think you might know where I'm leaning right now, but go ahead. You got the Chiefs or the field?
I think that all good things have to come to an end at a certain point in time. If I had to pick a team that could dethrone the Chiefs, I probably might go Chargers on this one because of the simple fact that, like you said, they got the quarterback that can go toe-to-toe with a lot of people. Now, whether or not he does it, that's another story. But I think they've done a great job of getting him some weapons this year. I mean, they took Omarion Hampton, who's supposed to be a really good running back. We know how, Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball, so to have him and Najee Harris, who's going to bring some attitude to it, that's a great little 1-2 punch there. Ladd McConkey really took off towards the end of the season last year. They ended up getting, I think it's Trey Jones, I want to say, from the Ole Miss, who everybody thinks is going to be a really good wide receiver as well. And, they brought back Mike Williams, so I think that they got what it takes to score points. And I just think that the age is finally going to catch up to Kansas City at some point.
Yeah, Omarion Hampton there too, which I love a lot for the Chargers. Excuse me. I'm with you. I'm gonna take the field, and I could see it being the Chargers. That'd be my pick, but could be sneakier for the Broncos as well.
All right, next up here, guys. There have been 9 different 2,000-yard rushing seasons in NFL history. There was 8. Then Saquon Barkley of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles joined that list last year. And the previous 8, for the previous 8 guys, none of those players cracked 1,500 yards the following season after having 2,000 yards. Barry Sanders had the most. He had 1,491 in 1998. Do you guys think Barkley will break that streak this season?
I do. I mean, he's so good. He's so electric. How the NFL let him go to Philadelphia time. It's like what the Giants were thinking, I don't know. I think he will because they know that's the recipe for success. I don't want to say the I word. I don't think he's going to get hurt. I think the guy is a tank. He's not dealt with, he has dealt with it, but I just don't think so. I really think they're going to run him a lot this year. They know that's their bread and butter. I think he will get that 1,500 mark this year. I do.
And let me correct myself. I meant Trey Harris, not Trey Jones. Trey Harris from Ole Miss. Yeah. Anyways, no, I don't think he's going to get it. I really don't. You know what? Before they announced that he was going to be on the cover of Madden, I would have said yes. But now that he's on the cover of Madden, there's absolutely no chance. How Vince McMahon's songs start off? No chance. That's what you got. He has no chance of cracking 1,500 yards because he's on the cover of Madden.
I could only imagine what that meeting would have been if Saquon, they sit down and go, EA Sports, Saquon, we'd really like to bestow this honor on you. And he goes, I'm good. He goes, nope, I don't want it. Nope. So we differ on that one. Next up, Bodie.
All right, next up, guys, Tennessee Titans, presumably starting quarterback Cam Ward, and the Las Vegas Raiders running back Ashton Jeanty are the co-favorites to win Offensive Rookie of the Year this upcoming season. If I gave you those two, so you can have those two as a combo, or the field to win that award, which would you pick?
Ooh, good one. I'll let you go first on this one, Tyvis.
See, the thing is, I would love to say a Travis Hunter or Omarion Hampton. But the difference between those guys and a Cam Ward and an Ashton Jeanty is that's all those teams got. Like the Raiders, they got Ashton Jeanty and Brock Bowers. That's it. So they're going to, and I know Pete Carroll. I played for Pete Carroll, so they're going to run the ball a lot. So Ashton Jeanty's going to get a ton of carries, which is stacked to a bunch of yards. And then Cam Ward is a quarterback. He's probably going to be the only starting quarterback out of all the ones that was drafted this year that starts day one. So he's going to have his leg up with that. And if they just have a decent record like that, compared to where they were last year, if they just win 6-7 games and he's performing well, they're going to give it to him for biased reasons. So, yeah, I think I'm going to take Cam and Ashton Jeanty.
It's a great point about just the bar's low to elevate that up, with Cam Ward. I think this award, it seems like it's a lot of dark horses that get this because it usually goes off, obviously, draft position, but you're right. It's usually a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of running backs. Like, when Jaden Daniels won it, that wasn't so much of a shock and everybody kind of understood that. But I feel like you do have some that come out of the woodwork. That being said, I really think Ashton Genty's going to be special. Like, I think he's going to be really good in this league. And obviously, you need to have a good offensive line, good scheme, and all that kind of stuff. But I would take Genty over Cam Ward just for a second. But if you're going to give me those two, Bodie, I'm going to take one of those two as well. So we'll agree on that one. Go ahead and take one of those guys.
All right, guys, final question here. You're both big Browns fans. I want to know who is your most non-quarterback, so let's eliminate the quarterbacks here, hated player on an opponent's team in all your years of being a Cleveland fan?
Tyvis. I mean, it's like we could write a book, brother. We could do the next 2 hours of the show, and to be honest with you, like, I look at it this way. I think Palomalu always just made a big play. Ed Reed always made a big play. Oh, dude, always. He was so good. My answer, though, is who I think actually was the biggest tormentor of the Cleveland Browns, and that was James Harrison of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he just buried so many of my quarterbacks, decapitating guys going over the middle. I think it's probably James Harrison. I was trying to think of a Bengal. Like, A.J. Green was just so good. But I didn't dislike
You respected it.
I respected it.
He was so good that you just had to respect it to where, like, everybody else is like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, this guy was, I guess it was the way he went about himself. It was Hines Ward. I hated Hines Ward because he would just smile at you while he's destroying the Browns, and it just used to make me upset. So if I had to pick somebody, Hines Ward would be the guy.
I was trying to think of curveball of a coach. All Bodie said was non-quarterback. And I was like thinking about coach, like, I don't dislike Harbaugh. I don't dislike Tomlin. Cowher, I was like, there wasn't a coach that really sat there and, like, got it for me. So, yeah, I think those are the biggest ones, for sure. Like, just defensive guys that just completely destroy, Bettis. But, Bettis did that to everybody. It made it hard, but I think that's definitely a list. All right, great stuff there on the huddle, and a great question I want to bring back a little bit later. We're talking about the college game, too, about some college coaches. They roll over to the NFL and what they do. But speaking of the NFL, Bill Barnwell, 15 NFL signings from this past offseason that could either be boom or bust for the team that they're on. There's some former Buckeyes on that list that I want to get to. We'll do it next. It's coming up right here on The Fan, Thibodeau and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Noticing a little bit of congestion over in New Albany, particularly on 61 eastbound. Got you at 18 miles per hour there, so a little bit slower. Just some ongoing construction projects in the area, though. Over to Gahanna, that's looking a little bit better. 270 northbound, 670 westbound, up to par, but your drive times a little bit slower on 62 westbound, though, at 30 miles per hour. Nothing too concerning. No major accidents or delays to report there. Just more people headed into the city. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Did you want information on the Ohio Lottery's Easy Play games? Okay. Easy Play games have everything needed to play printed on the ticket, so you never wait for a drawing. And with Easy Play Progressive games, they can instantly win the game's jackpot, which oftentimes grow and grow to over $1 million. All lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want another commercial? Okay.
When you shop at Meijer, you can always count on getting a good deal more with your shopping experience. And this week is no different. Earn a $10 coupon when you spend $100 or more in-store now through Saturday. Coupon will be printed at checkout. Then simply redeem your $10 coupon anytime the following week, June 8th through the 14th. Bringing more home for a good deal less. Welcome to the It Pays to Shop at Meijer Good Life. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your 2025 season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
Bishop and Friends.
I'll tell you this. There's no way he got rid of the crust. And he's like, well, I can get rid of the crust, but I'll be damned if I'm getting rid of this filling. Like, I'm still going to suck that down.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Cellar.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNRadio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
As you're stepping out the door, expect partly cloudy skies, and it will be mild with the upper 60s to start, and then a hot, humid, and hazy day ahead with highs right around 90 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, and then for Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast. We'll also see temperatures down into the low 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Carfallo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
When Tyvis looks at Bone, he sees the future. Bald, fat, white. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
As always, plenty of movement in the NFL from one off season to a next. I've got 15 moves. We're going to do boom or bust. Is this going to work out for their new team, including some Buckeyes? It is T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. You know he is Tyvis Powell. We got some NHL Stanley Cup starts tonight. We had the Reds, the Guards in action. Tyvis, there's only one place to go to get those wagers in.
Oh, yeah, the only one we care about, and that's Prime Sportsbook Ohio, and they're bringing you a massive welcome deposit match offer. Here's the deal. You deposit up to $400. That's right, $400, and Prime Sportsbook will match your deposit 100%. That's up to $400 in bonus bet. But wait, here's the best part. You can use your bonus bets anytime. They're valid for a whole year. 1 whole year of your bonus bets are valid. Just place wagers equal to your deposit bonus bonus and bonus amount before withdrawing. Don't miss out. This offer is for first-time deposits only and can expire at any time. So hurry and download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit primesportsbook.com to get started. Betting reduced. It literally costs less to bet with Prime Sports Ohio. Want to bet? Download Prime Sports Ohio today. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please, please, please play responsibly.
Absolutely. All right, so we had some big moves in the NFL this offseason, and Bill Barnwell ran through quite a few that he thinks could be boom or bust for their new team. There's some Buckeyes, and what I'm going to do, Tyvis, I'm just going to throw it to you. You tell me boom or bust on an instant reaction if you think this player is going to work out for their new team. Let's start with the Buckeyes. Justin Fields signs with the New York Jets as an unrestricted free agent. He's projected to be the starter. Boom or bust, Justin Fields with the Jets.
I think he's going to boom. I think he's in the opportunity where he is the guy. He's coming into the season knowing that he's the guy. You got him back with G5, Garrett Wilson. So that's a guy that he knows about. And I think that they're going to allow Justin to be Justin. You know, I think that offensive line is much better than where he's been previously. So he'll have time, and I think he'll have a really good, solid season. I'm not going to say he's going to go out there and throw for 5,000 yards, but I think it'll be a very respectable season.
I've always said this thing about Justin Fields where if you find that fit and the right offense and you just kind of let him be the player that we saw at Ohio State, I think that works in the NFL. I know there's some quarterbacks in college that it doesn't work in the NFL, and I just don't feel that about Justin Fields. So I hope it works for him. I'm going to say boom as well. I think that's going to work out for him, and he's got some weapons there to really help him out. This one, Tyvis, this one's going to take me so long to realize that Joey Bosa is now playing for the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be so weird to see.
Yeah.
He goes there as an unrestricted free agent. The health started to bite him out there with the Chargers. You know, the Bills, they move on from Von Miller. They bring in Joey Bosa. Boom or bust, Bosa to the Bills.
If Joey can stay healthy, it'll be a boom. You know, I've already seen right now, I think he's done something like tweaked a hamstring or an ankle or something, so he's like missing OTAs already. But for Joey, it's always been about health. If Joey's healthy, he's going to be really good. I mean, you put him on there with Ed Oliver and all those other guys that they have on that defensive line, you know, that should allow him to be really good because it'll take the focus off of just him. So I'm going to say, given the fact that he's healthy, saying that he will have a healthy season, I will say it's a boom.
I'm going to have to unfortunately say bust because injuries, he's missed 23 games over the past 3 seasons. And then in 13 more that he played, he was limited on the injury report or played reduced snaps in. So he had to take the pay cut there at the Chargers. They end up kind of moving on. I hope it's a boom. I really hope it works out for him, but I'm just a little worried on how that's going to play out for him there. All right, let's go to the quarterback. Sam Darnold going to Seattle. Boom or bust for him up in the Northwest?
I'm calling it a bust. I know Sam Darnold had a really good season, and he's been playing really well, but, you know, when it matters the most in the postseason, he's always – I mean, I feel like you just kind of know who the guy is, you know. And I know they've went out and he's got Jackson Smith and Jigma. They went and got Cooper Kupp, but I think Cooper Kupp's on the decline. I mean, the fact that the Rams allowed him to stay right there in that division, like that tells you that they are not afraid of you at all. So I just don't think they have enough there in Seattle for Sam Darnold. So I'm going to say it's a bust.
Oh, we got a little tie talking about Cooper Kupp on another player we'll get to with boom or bust on this one. I'm with you. I'm going to say bust. Like, I know what he did in Minnesota. Everybody thinks, oh, career resurgence and he's back. Well, he's not there anymore. You can't just run the same offense that you ran there. And I just have years and years and years of examples of him not being the guy. Why am I instantly going to flip that and change that for 1 year? And players can be so different once they leave a system and once they leave a team. And I'm just going to go with the history with Sam Darnold over what I just saw this last year to say it's probably not going to work out for them up in Seattle. All right, you talked about Cooper Kupp going up there. His replacement in L.A., Davante Adams, boom or bust for Davante Adams going to the Rams?
Call me crazy, but I think that him with the Rams, I think that and them having Puka is going to allow him to get those one-on-ones. And I think Davante still has some game left in him. I think it was just last year where he had the most receiving yards in one game. I think he had like 199, which was his career high. So it's still there for Davante. I think that he will shine with Matthew Stafford.
I think it's a giant boom. I'm with you. I think there's so much that can fit with him. I'm with you. I still think he's got game left. And I don't want to say that people forget or it's hard because it's such a year-to-year thing. Davante Adams was one of the best receivers in football. And there was a case that some people said he was the best receiver in football. I think you put him in that offense with Puka, with the Rams who like to do a lot of different things. And there was a clip that went around. A lot of teams love putting out content and social media stuff and all that kind of stuff. You can find it. There's a clip of Sean McVay where he kind of introduces Davante Adams to the rest of the team, or he's talking about Davante to the rest of the team. Tyvis, you could see Sean McVay, you could see the glow on his face of the excitement of having a guy like Davante Adams there. So I think it's twofold. I think he has some game left, and I think he's got a coach that wants to get him some footballs as well.
I definitely will be taking him at some point in fantasy this year.
Do that. I like that. I like that pick a lot. All right, from one receiver to another, traded away from Pittsburgh, George Pickens goes to the Cowboys, a little like Davante, right, where he's got skill. There's a number one guy already there. Pickens to the Cowboys, boom or bust? I'm interested in your response on this.
This is one that you can sell me both ways.
Okay.
I feel like I can see it both ways. Me being a positive guy, I'm going to say that it's going to be a boom for them because they don't have a number two, and CeeDee Lamb is going to demand a lot of attention, and as long as he's willing to, stay within the program, don't get beside himself on some of those games that he may not get the passes thrown his way. But see, Dak does a great job of spreading the ball around as well, so it's not like he's going to go games without, a target. So I think that it'll keep him interested. If everybody's going to be game planning for CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens does have what it takes to make those spectacular catches we've seen time and time again, especially on the deep ball last year. So I think it'll be nice. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and go catch 1,200 yards, but I think he'll be close to the 1,000 mark.
This might be the bust of all bust. And you mentioned it, Tyvis. He's got a rookie head coach, and he is no longer the number one focal point, not even just in the receiving core. Like when he was in Pittsburgh, there were games that's all that they had. And they still weren't throwing him the football. Now he's going to go down to Dallas where they're trying to remake some things down there. You're going to throw it to CeeDee Lamb. And you're right. Dak does a good job of getting the football. I'm sure Dak is super happy to have another legit option behind CeeDee Lamb. But, dude, I see it now. There's going to be a game that he gets 2 targets and it just doesn't go his way, and he's going to start saying some stuff, and then Jerry's going to comment on it. I don't know if Brian Schottenheimer's going to be able to handle all that. That's one where I was like, I get the talent, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that George Pickens isn't talented, because I think he's super talented. But, when Mike Tomlin says, I've had enough of you, then
usually that's it. They all go downhill. Once Mike lets it go, that's it. The players that go other places never really bounce back. We've seen it with Le'Veon. We've seen it with Chase Claypool. We've seen it with AB. It is something.
There's something to be said. There's a little ticker that Mike Tomlin's got in his head, right? His little clock that just keeps going, and he knows when it strikes 0, he's done. I think there's a reason they moved off, and obviously getting DK Metcalf was a big part of that. But I think there were some ulterior motives, if you will, there with the Steelers' moves there. I'm really excited to run through this because our friend of the station, you hear him everywhere, Bill Bender, Sporting News, he ranked all of the Big Ten schedules. I think it's easy as we sit here and we talk about the teams that you have, quarterbacks, transfers, and all that. But who are their opponents? Who do they have to run through to try to get to the Big Ten championship game or even the college football playoff? He ranks them from the easiest to the hardest schedule. Where is Ohio State? Answer shocked me just a little bit. We'll get to all of it coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Wednesday. Thankfully, no major accidents or delays report as of right now. So we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be starting tonight and tomorrow night. So 71 northbound to 70 eastbound, just south of the city there. That ramp will be closed starting at 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. So a great detour you'll want to know is if you continue northbound on 315, head over to 670 eastbound, go down 71 southbound. It will help you continue to 70 eastbound. A little bit of a change there, but nothing too bad. Again, starting at 10 p.m., lasting till about 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED. But Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Check out this amazing deal on Kellogg's cereal. Select varieties or buy 2 get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Both of these men love the Browns. Also, both of these men hate the Browns. If you know, you know. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well established that both myself, Matt Fontana, for Thibodeau this week, and Tyvis are Browns fans, and sometimes it's very painful to be Browns fans, and it's a tough thing. We'll get to the Ohio State ranking of their schedule in the Big Ten. At times, I get wrapped up in this, too, because I sit there, I'm like, man, Ohio State, they're loaded. They bring this player in, transfer, Max Blair, great. But sometimes you got to look at the schedule and see what tough games you have. We know the Texas game, but Bill Bender, the Sporting News, did a great job. He ranked all of the Big Ten schedules based off some different things. And even he talks about criticism of sometimes the strength of schedule and things like that. So Bill kind of did it his own little way. And I want to tell everybody where Ohio State came out in just a second. But join us for the inaugural 97.1 The Fan, The Race, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. It's a 5K run and a 1-mile walk happening on June 21st at Otterbein University in Westerville. Some of your favorite personalities are going to be there. Tyvis is going to be there. Common Man, T-Bone, Reiser, they're all going to be there, including 10 TV's Adam King. He's doing the race in a suit and a tie, channeling his inner Rich Eisen to get it done. Every participant's going to get a finisher's medal, race t-shirt, free photos, and some great gifts from Logan Services and Raising Cane's. The inaugural 97.1 Fan the Race, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center and sponsored by Impact Health and Wellness, specializing in regenerative medicine, weight loss, and hormone therapy to help define your wellness goals. Sign up today at 971thefan.com, and we'll see you out there on June 21st at Otterbein University. So Bill Bender runs through all the schedules in the Big Ten. Here it is. He comes out with a metric based on 3 factors, Tyvis. Number 1, ranked opponents. And he goes off the Sporting News preseason top 25. Okay. Then home versus road games, which we know was so vitally important in college football. And then their win totals from hardest to easiest. And they, not even necessarily win totals, but he ranked the 18 Big Ten teams from the highest point and the toughest schedule to the lowest point, having the easiest schedule, talking about ranking it out. So of all the teams, Bill says Wisconsin got a total of 92 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in part that they have 5 ranked opponents.
Yep.
Ohio State at number 2. They are at number 6, Oregon. At number 8, Alabama in a non-conference. Illinois and Michigan rounded out for Wisconsin. So, obviously, I mean, just looking at that, brutal Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, let alone Illinois, Michigan, it's going to be an uphill battle there for Wisconsin. Rutgers has a tough go of it there at 2. USC is actually number 3.
Really?
Yeah, they have Notre Dame. Obviously, standard there, number 5.
Yeah, but this the last year of it, Bodie. Look at Bodie.
Shaking his head. It's not going to be. They can't do that.
They done. They're not about to continue to play all of these tough schools.
I know, and that is something we talk about the college football playoff, and it's like the sacrifice of that because you just don't. The juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore of trying to get to the playoff or Can we just? Why is Notre Dame not?
No, don't get Bodie started. Now hold on, because
Bodie, I don't know about this, man. Let me go. Let me see how close I can get to Bodie, or if I'm either getting closer to him or I'm going even further away. The fact that they have Rutgers in the Big Ten, but that Notre Dame is not. Boggles my mind.
They don't want to join a conference. They think they better than everybody. You should see he draped in his Notre Dame gear now. He thinks he's better than everybody.
He does have a Notre Dame shirt on. Yeah, he does have a Notre Dame shirt on. I do not, and I get it. They got the deal. They don't need the money. They're going to probably – actually, I'll tell you this, Tyvis. They're probably better off as independents making it than joining a conference because there's something about – here's what the conference is going to like about Notre Dame. They like getting them in because they see that as appeasing non-SEC Big Ten people. Yeah. And they're going to glom them in with the power or, the group of, not necessarily saying that Notre Dame's better than group of 5 people. I get that. But for all the detractors of the current college football playoff system, when they let Notre Dame in, they're going to go, well, we'll see. Look, we let somebody in not from the Big Ten or the SEC, even though we all know that Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten right now. It seems ridiculous that they're not.
To be honest, to be fair, I don't blame Notre Dame for the way that they're acting. The only way that Notre Dame would have to join the conference is if everybody refused to play them. That would be the only way, and they demanded them to make a conference. But when the initial CFP came out, the 12 team, it was like they did it as a slap in the face to Notre Dame because conference, if you win your conference championship, you get the automatic bye. Well, now it's just the top 4 teams. So now they're winning again because if they're in the top 4, they're going to get to bye and not have to worry about being in the conference. So right now, where college football is, it's not forcing them to join any conference.
I know. So I just want it to happen. I don't know if it ever will. So, again, USC has the 3rd hardest schedule because they're at Notre Dame. They're in South Bend. Then they got to go up to Oregon. Then they're at Champaign to take on number 10 Illinois. So they have 4 ranked games, including number 16 Michigan. But 3 of those 4 games for USC are on the road. So that gives them a little bump up over number 4, Ohio State. So, again, Bill Bender ranking the hardest to easiest schedule in the Big Ten. Bill feels like Ohio State has the 4th hardest schedule in the Big Ten. They were number 7 last year. So here are the big games for Ohio State. As we know, number 1, Texas, coming to the shoe. That's on there. Then you're home for Penn State. Then you're at Illinois. You're at Michigan. So, again, preseason rankings, you've got 4 ranked games. Here's why I was shocked by that. And it's a bias coming out, and it's Bill did this the right way, and this is the rankings. Tyvis, Penn State is not the number 4 team in the country. I don't think Illinois, Luke Altmaier's fine, and I'm selling the Illini short. I don't think they're 10. And Michigan, who's going to start a guy that I get Bryce Underwood is everybody says he's God's gift to football and that, and they get Haynes to run the football. I'm not believing that Michigan is number 16 either. If that was true, then you're talking about the Wolverines making the college football playoff. I've made a lot of stupid bets on radio, and I've said a lot of stupid things too in this job. I would put. I don't know what I would do. We'll figure something out. Michigan's not making the college football. Absolutely not.
Don't never say never.
I'd never say never. They save they save clips. I know they do.
My issue with this is that all these teams that we've mentioned have had a total of 4 tough opponents on their schedule.
Right.
And when I look at it, like, I just don't understand why Rutgers is 2. Like, that part gets to me a little bit. I feel like Ohio State's schedule is probably more tougher, but I guess because it's Ohio State, like, maybe they can handle it. I think
you're thinking Texas, right?
Yes.
The tiebreaker's got to be that nobody on this list anywhere else is going to play the preseason number 1 at Texas, right? So that should count for something. That's kind of my thing, and it was the points. I think the only flip here is that for USC, who was just 1 above, there were a lot of road games. For Rutgers, I think the flip here is that Ohio State's not playing Oregon this year. So, like, Rutgers' schedule is about the same. They play Ohio State. They have Penn State. They have Illinois. Ohio State is Ohio State. They're playing Penn State and Illinois, but Rutgers also has to play Oregon, while Ohio State doesn't have to this year. And then for some of the other...
I'd rather play Oregon than Texas.
I would, too. But that's where I think, to your point, that should maybe bump Ohio State up as being a little bit harder. But here's the thing. The other contenders, Michigan, only ranked teams, Ohio State and number 24, Oklahoma. Penn State, it's just Ohio State and Oregon. And then for the team that I was just kind of giving a little crap to, and everybody's thinking they're going to be all hot this year, Illinois, from Bill, has the easiest schedule in the Big Ten. You want to know why, Tyvis?
Why?
The only preseason ranked team they play, Ohio State. That's it. They don't have to play. They don't have to play Michigan this year. They don't have to play Oregon this year. They don't have to play any other ranked team in the preseason.
So they
Ohio State.
So they might make the CFP.
They might run the table on. Hang on, I had it up earlier and I closed it.
I'm looking at it right now.
You looking at it?
Western Illinois, Duke, Western Michigan, Indiana, USC, Purdue, Ohio State, Washington, Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwest. Yeah, they got a lot of wins.
They got a lot of wins. They got a lot of wins.
And they got the quarterback coming back.
Yeah, I would say this. I still think they're going to lose 2. They'll lose to Ohio State. That's that.
What about USC?
I thought about that, or like they trip up against like Washington.
Maybe Indiana wasn't a fluke.
Well, and they got that transfer kid out of Cal. Talking about Indiana.
Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza's in there. Like, there's some questions on, like, can Signati really do it again? I don't know. I think they'll trip up. They'll have 2. And I think if you're talking about a 2-loss Illinois team and one of them is to Ohio State, which is understandable, but if that other one's a bad one and it's an opponent you don't really look at, they're going to want to get 3 teams out of the Big Ten in. I think last year's Indiana could be this year's Illinois. I guess it could be. But, yeah, they have the easiest schedule on the way out. Buckeyes are tough. They're up there. But, again, I take these games over anything. I want to see Ohio State take on Texas in that Week 1 matchup, even though it's at noon, and see what you got for the season coming up. All right, I want to take a look around the NFL right now. We got some news coming out about T. Higgins. He spoke about some of his injuries down there in Cincinnati, and we might finally have a timeline for Aaron Rodgers joining the Steelers. We'll tell you when. It's the Fan, T-Bone and Tyvis. Stay with us.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are noticing a crash right now. This one happening just north of Grove City. US 62 eastbound, the Center Point Drive area, particularly left lane, is blocked right now because of that crash as crews work up to clean the area. If you are heading in this direction, not too many delays. Make sure to take it nice and easy for the crew members on scene. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
Hey, it's Bobby Carper. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it. You're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor. There's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Looking to buy a home? With a 5-1 adjustable rate mortgage from CME Federal Credit Union, you can lock in a low rate starting as low as 5.5% for the first 5 years. Visit CMEFCU.org today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tyvis Powell is a legendary Buckeye. T-Bone loves to eat Buckeyes. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
One of the off-season sagas in the NFL. Some people are sick of it. Some people are just waiting for it to be over. But it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's nowhere else to go. We might finally have an end to it. We're not done. We still got an hour to go right here in T-Bone and Tyvis. Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this week. So happy to be with Tyvis Powell all morning and having some fun. So, Tyvis, are you as sick of this Aaron Rodgers stuff as, like, kind of I am? It's like, I get it. He likes the drama. He likes to have his name out there. But we all know he's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Right?
I mean, you would think, the way that the world has been acting, the way that the old Pittsburgh organization has gone about their business, it all signs points to him going there.
You know, it's funny. I was listening to Bo yesterday, and he kind of brought that point up. Like, the Steelers are operating like a team that knows that, right? They trade for DK. They trade away Pickens. They did get, kind of bit with some bad news yesterday that Donald Parham tore his Achilles, so he's going to be out. That's kind of re-brought up this Jonnu Smith trade out of Miami that was like it was dead, and then all of a sudden it wasn't because now that Parham is hurt, they might need that other tight end to run in that system with Arthur Smith. They've kind of been like sneakily brought up about Kyle Pitts. If he gets moved out of Atlanta, I got questions about that anyway, but we all come back to Rodgers. So yesterday, Ian Rappaport was on the Pat McAfee show, and of course he gets continually asked about like this Rodgers thing, and it's not that Rap Sheet is reporting this, but he said just keep an eye out for next week. The Steelers will be in mandatory minicamp next week, and Rappaport says that might be interesting. That would be a time that would make sense for him to go in. If he's going to sign, at least get a playbook, go home for the summer, study, work out a little bit. And he said that makes the most sense. But as he brings up, it's a good point, it's Aaron Rodgers, so he literally would not rule anything out. And I get that conversation, Tyvis, and you speak on this better than I could, about having that quarterback in the building just to give everybody else like a little sense of calmness, right? Because we sit here and we think he's going to Pittsburgh. He's maybe even insinuated, like he talked about the Chicago thing, and I'll see in Chicago because the Steelers play there and all that kind of stuff. But, like, wouldn't that be like a calming thing for the rest of the team to be like, okay, he's signed, he's going to be our quarterback, we can all start getting ready for the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the right now. All you're doing is letting everybody gain more confidence in Mason Rudolph because he's there every day. He's going through things, so it gets to a point where if people feel like Mason Rudolph is better for the team, then they might tell you, they might pull the contract from you. So I think Aaron Rodgers is in his best interest to get out there and, like I said, build that chemistry with guys. Let people hear his voice because you know what's crazy is that everybody has their own opinion of Aaron Rodgers, okay? Yeah. If you've never been in the locker room with Aaron Rodgers, you think he's a certain type of way or you feel some type of way about him because of these antics like this, all the darkness retreats and the mother ayahuasca and all the weird stuff that he does. So you got your opinion formed of him. And until you get into the locker room and see who he is, because I think the Jets players talked about this. There's a lot of the Jets players that was like, they kind of didn't know who he was. They thought he was weird. And then they got in the locker room and talked to him. And they was like, man, he's really a cool guy. Yeah. So I think for Pittsburgh, that's what they need to see. And I don't know why he's stalling this out. I mean, he needs to go in there, get chemistry, learn from people, and get ready for this season because they feel like he is a piece that can at least help them advance from the first round of the playoffs.
No, it seems like the kind of the power trip. You know, I'll sign when I want to sign, but there's nobody else for you to play for. For Pittsburgh, they're backed into a corner because what's their other? I guess Mason Rudolph could start. It could be Will Howard that they could start there, and I get that. And I guess maybe break glass and go get Kirk Cousins if you really need it. But, yeah, it just seems like a waste of time when you could be getting that work in. And like Rap Sheet said, like get that playbook and at least kind of head off to the summer knowing what you're doing. Everybody else can have that little bit of confidence to figure it out.
Honestly, I think that the person that's benefiting the most is a Will Howard because now, you know, if Will's with the twos, like he's getting a ton of reps every day to where if Aaron Rodgers get there, everybody bumps down one and the threes get, a handful of reps a day. So right now, this is perfect. I think people don't want to hear it, but Aaron Rodgers is actually doing those younger guys some service right now because he's allowing them to take all these OTA reps. Now, mandatory minicamp, you know, that's a totally different story. And obviously fall camp, that's totally different as well because you're getting ready for the season. But as for right now, he's actually doing them some good by staying away and allowing these guys to take all those reps.
That's a great point. You know, that and maybe even – conspiracy theory on out. Maybe that's even something the Steelers were like, dude, we don't mind. You know, we don't mind. We want to get some reps here for Will Howard. Mm-hmm. We've had Mason Rudolph here before, so we kind of know who he is, but it would help out the younger guy a little bit more. I wanted to touch quickly on this T. Higgins story as well because he spoke yesterday as everybody's going through, you know, off-season programs and things like that. And he said his number one thing is, I plan on staying healthy. Now, we know about the best laid plans can't happen, but it didn't really kind of register with me about how much he really missed last year where he had 2 games with a hamstring, then middle of the year with the quadriceps. He missed time in 2023 with the hamstring. And, like, I get that T is so important to that offense, Tyvis, and I'm not saying that it's not, but, like, once those injuries start, like, and especially the soft tissue ones, man, I just feel like it's hard to kind of overcome those. And he got the big deal. Burrow wanted him to get the deal. He got it. But, like, man, yeah, there's going to be a lot riding on that Bengals season just based on the quads and hamstrings of T. Higgins if he can be out there and be playing. You know?
Yeah, he should take this time right now to do some Pilates. He needs to do some yoga. He needs to make sure he uses resistance bands, all of those things that help with those soft tissue injuries right there because, yeah, if he can't really afford to miss any time, given the fact that we don't know what that Cincinnati defense is going to look like, you know, and it seems like last year they figured out we just got to outscore everybody. And they did a pretty decent job of doing it. Obviously, there was only a game or two out of the playoffs from being able to do that, but they have to come out clicking on all cylinders. This start and slow thing, they can't put themselves behind the 8 ball before the season gets started because they see it's too hard to get out of. But ultimately, it comes down to if that defense can give them some help. But if I'm T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and all of those guys, I'm making sure that I'm stretching, doing yoga, making sure that I take care of my body because they're going to need them a lot this season if they want to make the playoffs.
Absolutely. Speaking of making the playoffs, ESPN percentage chance for some of the top teams in college football to make it. What did they give Ohio State? Also, I'm so excited about this. New premium seating coming to the shoe. We'll explain it all, and I think we just got to work our way into one of those seats for one of the games coming up, Tyvis, for this season. We'll discuss it all coming up. Thibodeau and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Wednesday. We are noticing a couple of slowdowns in the east and southeastern part of the city. Over in the Etna-Pataskala area, if you're making your way to the city, taking 70 westbound, noticing a couple of delays out there. Nothing too concerning, though. And over to the Canal Winchester and Pickerington area, of course, 33 westbound, a little bit slower than usual this morning, but nothing too concerning for your Wednesday. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
This summer, elevate your backyard barbecue game with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus in Dublin. Experience the power of Napoleon's infrared sizzle zone, reaching up to 1,800 degrees in just 30 seconds for that perfect steakhouse sear. Stay connected with the Napoleon Home app. Monitor up to 3 temperature probes, all from your smartphone. Built to last with premium steel, the grilling season never ends with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus. Visit Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin and transform your patio into a gourmet grilling paradise.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm one of the at-home coaches with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Honestly, I think the thing I hear the most is I didn't realize how easy it was. That first weekly they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I already noticed that I'm not as bloated in my face or in my abdomen, or I've been sleeping better. I've been waking up with so much more energy. I don't need my coffee throughout the day. They're coming in a month or two later and they're like, hey, like my daughter said I need to lower my meds. I'm losing a ton of inches on my waist. I'm buying new pant sizes. And we're looking at scale. We're like, yeah, your visceral fat's down again. That's fantastic. And we're celebrating all of these wins. And then we talk about, okay, next step. Let's talk about how to maintain it. This isn't over. This is just the next stage. That's what your health coach is there for.
Thanks, Mandy. This is Scotty Vegas. Easy weight loss with results that actually last. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will succeed and you'll enjoy the process. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Smalls here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Baseball from last night in the Bronx. Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe hit back-to-back home runs in the 7th inning, and the Yankees beat the Guardians 3-2 in the opener of the 3-game set. Those 2 teams will go again tonight at 7:05. Luis Ortiz starts for Cleveland. At Great American Ballpark, TJ Friedl had the play of the night as he robbed Jake Bauers of a game-tying 2-run home run for the final out of the game, and the Reds beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-2. Cincinnati looks for the series win today at 12:40. Andrew Abbott is on the bump in that game for the Redlegs, and the Stanley Cup final gets underway tonight as the Oilers and Panthers will meet in Edmonton for Game 1. Face-off is at 8 o'clock. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Are you swimming in debt? With rates as low as 8.99% APR, you can save your summer with a debt consolidation loan. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate. Breaking sports news. What happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, speaking of football, we talked food with Snack Wraps a little bit earlier, which was awesome, and we always have a lot of fun. But we got some football here, getting ready to go for the 2025 college football season. Playoff percentage chance, championship percentage chance, and projected wins coming out from ESPN for some of the top teams in college football. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this week right here on T-Bone and Tyvis. And also want to remind everybody, looking for Austin and Berm. The Beat with Austin and Berm is now streaming on the Fans YouTube channel and the 10 TV Plus app. Download the 10 TV Plus app today on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Roku, and stay locked in with the latest Buckeye talk anytime, anywhere. And if you just want to listen to it, just search Austin and Berm wherever you get your podcasts. The Beats with Austin and Berm now available on your schedule. Tyvis, I started this conversation by asking, how much do you put into like the FPI and power rankings? Because ESPN went through and they have their football power index, which is what they do to project. They do in the NFL too. but it's a predictive rating system that estimates each team's strength on offense, defense, and special teams. And for the offseason, they made adjustments for starters lost, recruiting incoming talent, and other personnel changes. They then take all this stuff, it's a rating system, they put in a schedule, and they simulate it 20,000 times to try to come up with these percentage chances. So basically, Tyvis, are you buying the FPI? Are you buying in their 20,000 times simulation here?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough.
Not really.
So, like, they come up with all these things. So this is where it is, that they come out with Texas having the highest chance to just make, by the way, this is not to win the championship, but just to make the national championship. They give Texas the highest FPI score of 28, 10.5 wins, 84% chance to make the playoff, and a 22% chance to make the championship. So they were number one. Georgia was 2 at a 26 rating, 10 wins even, 77% chance to make the playoff, 17.5% chance to make the national championships. National championship game. Then at number 3, Ohio State. They have a 24 score. So again, Texas had 28.5, Georgia had 26, Ohio State has 24. They have them at 10.5 wins, 71% chance to make the playoff, but Tyvis only a 12% chance to make the national championship. So what the FPI is saying, they really like a Texas-Georgia national championship if you just go off the FPI.
You know what's interesting about that? When it comes to, first of all, they act like Texas and Ohio State is pretty similar. They both lost starting quarterbacks. They both lost some key playmakers on offense. I don't understand why that is. And they're in what the people consider the best conference. So I think that there are some games that they're going to drop. Now, I get that they got Arch Manning, but like I say, people be crowning these kids too early. You know, yes, he looked pretty good when he was out there. But, again, what teams were they again? What is it, UTEP where he started? Well,
and, Tyvis, I would say, Julian Salan deserves, I don't want to say, as close as much hype. The guy was a top recruit. He was at Alabama. For all the things that people want to say about Arch, which I get, I could sit here and start pointing at things about Julian. And, again, I'm projecting that Salan is going to win the job for Ohio State, and I think he will. But, I could start saying a lot of the same things for him. He just doesn't have the Manning last name to go with it, you know?
Yeah, and then with Georgia, have they found a quarterback? Because I know that Carson Beck is gone. The guy that they replaced him last year was he didn't impress me against Notre Dame.
They went with it wasn't Drake. It was the other kid. Or no, was it? I can't remember. I can't remember who it was either. Or was it Stockton?
The quarterback?
Yeah.
It was It was Stockton.
Gunnar Stockton. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Gunnar Stockton. And obviously, Carson Beck's not there anymore. I'm not sure who's going to take that over. And I get with Georgia that they didn't maybe lose as much talent as some of the other teams. So
but when I watched them play last year, they didn't have the skill players. They had Trevor,
Etienne.
They had him,
yeah.
But at the wide receiver position, it didn't look like it used to. When Ladd was there, or they didn't have the Brock Bowers. They didn't have guys on the outside that I would be afraid of. So to me, that's why I was thinking that Georgia was cooked all year long, because when I watched them play, it was these dudes aren't creating that separation. They're not scary like a Jeremiah Smith is or something like that. So I'm still not high on Georgia, because I have to see their skill players to see what they look like, because really ultimately Gunner came in there and they really started just running the ball, because I felt like they didn't trust either Gunner, or they didn't trust that they had the guys on the outside.
Alabama's at 4. We're going through the ESPN FPI. Alabama with a 66% chance to make the playoff, 10% chance to make the national championship. Then we go Penn State, Oregon, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame, and Tennessee rounds out the top 10. So I bring that up in a way, Tyvis, to say of the top 10 teams, 7 of them reside in the SEC or the Big Ten. You got 2 ACC squads, and then Notre Dame there as the independent at number 9. Then again, SEC it goes Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, Michigan. So again, 12 of the top 15 on the FPI are in the SEC or the Big Ten. Then it goes South Carolina, Oklahoma, 2 more SEC teams. They finally give SMU some love at 19. Then they go back Florida, Kansas State. So to add that up, 15 of the top 20 teams on the ESPN FPI. And again, some of them have like a 1% chance to make the national championship, which I get. But just according to ESPN running the numbers, they are telling you that 15 of the top 20 teams entering this season reside in the Big Ten or the SEC. It kind of comes back to the conversation about how many are they allotting out and how many are they going to let into this college football playoff. And we'll see how games go, and you got to play the game, you got to play your schedule and all that kind of stuff. But we even come back to they only feel like 4 teams have a 10% chance of making the national championship. Like, I kind of agree it's too many anyway with how many that are making it. But the shoehorning of trying to feel like everybody should be included here and we got to give some love over it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to give some love to some of these teams that don't deserve to make it. I frankly think at this point, 1, maybe 2 ACC teams. I think the biggest indictment of this whole thing, one Big 12 team, it was Kansas State, and they were 20. Big 12 doesn't deserve anything. Let's just say that right now. Big 12 doesn't deserve anything when it comes to these college football playoff times. I'm going to say it now.
You know who you sound like? You sound like me last year when I kept saying that. I said
right.
it'll be a very long time until I say that it's a Big 12 team that wins it all. I don't see it. There's no big name in their conference right now. They have no big fish. So to me, the Big 12 is that they shouldn't have a say in anything. Now the ACC, you can sell me on because, like I said, Clemson, they've been there and they've won it, and they've beaten the SEC to do it. So I will give them some credit on that. But the Big 12, they're definitely 4th in this race.
Absolutely. And then would you buy, like, if you had to look at it, Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, or let me do this. You got to pick a team other than those 4. Those are the only 4 that have a 10% chance or greater. Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, or Alabama. You got to give me one other team that you could see, and I'm forcing you to do it, to make the national championship. Penn State, Oregon, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame, Tennessee, or some of the other options.
Clemson is my sneaky dark horse team this year because of all of the production they got coming back on the offensive side of the ball, quarterback, got the receivers line, stuff like that. So I actually give Clemson a really good chance to make it.
I like your pick, too. Club Nick, a lot of people think could be a top pick for the draft coming up next year as well. So I like that there on the Clemson. So speaking of quarterbacks, we got some new quarterback wide receiver combinations in the NFL. We'll run through some of the top ones and who we think might actually turn out to be the best. The Steelers are on there. We got Tennessee. We talk about Stephon Diggs again in New England, who says they're not going to cut him. We'll get to it coming up. Thibodeau and Tyvis.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, if you're stepping out right now, be aware of some slowdowns. Dublin, Worthington, Reynoldsburg, even Gahanna all seeing some delays. No accidents to report, thankfully, but we do want to take a close look at that west side commute. 70 eastbound, a little bit slower than usual as more people head into the city. Over to the Etna-Pataskala area, if you're making your way into the city, a little bit better on that side, the eastern side of the city. Again, expect those delays, though, as you approach closer to the downtown area. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle of the night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Common Man and Timmy.
It has a buttery hue that the pretzel doesn't have.
I'll give you a bluish hue when I kick you in the sack.
We get T-Bone back now.
T-Bone gone.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by Hinderer Motorsports.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll start the day off dry and muggy. It is going to be mild as well, and then we get hot, humid, and hazy this afternoon with temperatures in the upper 80s to right around 90. It'll be another mild night tonight, but then for Thursday, chances of showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast. Some could be severe with damaging wind gusts. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with our highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We got some new NFL wide receiver and quarterback combos. Run through some of those, get a little ranking on that. And I want to go back to the Tom Thibodeau story a little bit because that was a great question posted on social media from Kyle Brandt about what the NFL comp would be to firing Tom Thibodeau. Like, the shock that it came out yesterday that he got fired from the Knicks like, what would that comp be of a coach that took a forlorn team and just hadn't done anything in forever? I have one that actually Kyle brought up that I think might be the answer, but I want to discuss that with Tyvis coming up in just a little bit. T-Bone and Tyvis this morning right here on The Fan. Matt Fontana alongside Tyvis Powell. And we got some hockey action getting going tonight with Stanley Cup. I saw a question this morning on 971 The Fan on Twitter about who people think are going to win the Stanley Cup and how many games. I lean the Panthers, I think. But it's hard because my heart... a buddy of mine that I used to work with here in Cleveland, he's the play-by-play voice for the Panthers. Shout out to Doug Plagans. So I want them to win, but I think the Oilers are going to get it done.
Okay. Well,
Tyvis, I should probably go in my head, and I should get over to Prime Sports and probably go Oilers. I'm going to say maybe in 6. What do you think? You should never bet with your heart. Ever bet with your heart. Go with your head.
I'm looking at Prime Sports Ohio right now.
What do you got for me?
Right now, if you want to put the Florida Panthers on the money line, that's plus 115.
Okay, so it moved a little bit.
Edmonton is minus 132. So there you go. I mean, listen, I understand. They say Connor McDavid is like Kyrie Irving with the puck.
That's pretty good.
Like he's very shifty with the puck. Yeah. So there you go. But also, Prime Sportsbook is giving you this massive welcome deposit match offer. If you deposit $400, they will give you $400 in bonus bets. The best part is you can use these bets at any time. They're valid for the entire year. This offer is only for first-time deposits only and can expire at any time. So hurry and download Prime Sports Ohio app or visit primesportsbook.com to get started betting reduced juice. It literally costs less to bet with Prime Sports Ohio. Want to bet? Download Prime Sports Ohio today. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And Matt, please, if you're gonna bet on the Florida Panthers tonight, just do it responsibly.
As always, bet responsibly. Bet with money you're okay losing. And again, bet with your head. Your heart gets you in trouble. What you think?
That is true. Very true.
I think I gotta go Oilers. But with that at Prime, like I was thinking about specific games, but with it being in that close, you're doing all right there. Just picking the winner. So I'm gonna give you some of these teams. I do want to revisit that Tom Thibodeau NFL connection here in a second. But CBS Sports went through some of the top new NFL quarterback and wide receiver tandem. So I want to give you the top 5. I was going to stretch it to 6 because I forgot that DeAndre Hopkins is going to go to Baltimore with Lamar. So he's 6. I'm going to give you the top 5. You tell me which one you think is your favorite out of all of these. So they have Matt Stafford and Devontae Adams. We talked about Adams a little bit earlier. They have Dak Prescott and George Pickens. They have Deebo Samuel, Jaden Daniels. They have Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. They have J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson, because, again, it's not just the new wide receiver. It could be the new quarterback. They have Lamar and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, there's a bunch. Russ and Malik Neighbors, DK and Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Golden and Jordan Love. Like, of ones that I mentioned there, Tyvis, is there one that jumps out to you that you really, really like?
I would hope that Jay Jettas and JJ would have a good connection. I mean, Justin Jefferson, you just put it in the area. We've seen multiple quarterbacks, go over there. They've had, Sam Darnold's come in and done well. Nick Mullins came in and threw for over 400 yards. So I just think that Justin Jefferson is so good that he's going to make it easy for JJ to get him the ball because he runs these precise, crispy routes that he wins those releases. And if you throw him a 50-50 ball, he's got a really good chance. So I know J.J. McCarthy hasn't done a thing in the NFL, but I just think Justin Jefferson is so good that he'll allow J.J. to shine.
So this was a great question this morning from Kyle Brandt. And what would be the NFL comp of the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau? So you had a coach that had taken you to places you haven't been in decades and built this system and done all these things, and they get rid of him. The comp he brought up was Dan Campbell for the Lions, to be like, here's a team that had struggled for so long, had come in and done this, to move off from. Other people say Sean McDermott.
That's a good one.
With the Bills.
That's a good one.
And then some people go historical. They talk about like when Marty Schottenheimer got fired after going 14-2.
Yeah.
With the Chargers.
Jim, what is it, Caldwell?
Jim Caldwell.
With the Lions. He got fired after having a successful season.
Yep, Bears firing Lovie Smith, maybe Marvin Lewis down there with the Bengals after so many years. And it's hard because those guys had done it for so long.
It would be like the Pittsburgh Steelers firing Mike Tomlin.
Well, some people want that done.
A lot of people want that done.
Yeah. And it's like that success, it's such a good point about the weighing of the playoffs versus the regular season, because it's like that you could have the regular season, which is good. You could be going and getting to this round of the playoffs or be pushing for this, but we just haven't made it to the championship or haven't even had a look at the championship just yet. And I just, with the Thibodeau thing, they want to go try to win a title, and it seems to be something that in the NBA is the hot thing to do is, well, this coach can only get you this far. You need to go find a coach to get you over the hump and get you where you need to go. And I'll just be self-deprecating here for a second with the Cavs. That's what the Cavs did, and Kenny Atkinson got to the same round that J.B. Bickerstaff did.
Yeah.
Different opponents, and maybe...
They both went 4-1.
Right, and could potentially have lost to the future NBA champions, depending how it goes for the Pacers here coming up, because J.B. lost to the Celtics a year ago in round 2. But, it's hard to throw the baby out with the bathwater to say you had all this success and all this... development, and that's not good enough, and we're going to have to go find a guy to get us over there. The grass is not always greener. I would say that to the Knicks. The grass is not always greener over there.
I would say that, when you look at, situations like this, first of all, it's very hard to see if it's the coach or is it the players. Do I need to critique a player or do I need to critique the coach? And for the Cavs, using the Cavs, for the majority of the season, that's all we said was, oh my goodness, it was the coach. It was the coach. Look at how good this offense is looking. Look how they're winning all of these games, for a long time. And then when it actually mattered, it turned out to be actually JB wasn't really that bad. It was actually you get the same result. So for me, you have to look at these teams and say, do I need to critique this one player? Because let's take the Thunder. The Thunder literally. They ran it back for many, many years, and all they did was they took a player. They traded Josh Giddey, and they ended up getting Alex Caruso. That was the big – because Josh Giddey was part of their core, and they traded one member of their core for Alex Caruso, and now we're talking about them being the favorites to win the championship. So, it wasn't the coach for them. It was a player, and I think that for the Knicks – maybe they think that did Tom Thibodeau lose the locker room? Because that's what they said with Mike Malone for Denver. They said, this players just wasn't responding to him anymore. So that's why they needed to make that change. Was that the same thing with Tom Thibodeau with the Knicks? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
The hard part for me is when you have a guy like Jalen Brunson come out and give that confidence and say it was so interesting now that we look back on it, because Brunson, right after they had lost, he was talking about Thibodeau and was asked questions. So it's like nobody at that time really thought about it, that it could be a potential, but they just wanted to, get thoughts on Thibodeau. So, I wonder if Brunson got any sense of something and he goes, hey, I'm going to go really out here and let everybody know how I feel about Thibodeau. Or if it was just, no, I was asked a question. I guess basically, has this been brewing? Is this something that people were thinking? Because there were just people a few days ago, Tyvis, saying no. The Knicks love him, the players love him. But Jalen Brunson, who is the star of the team, who is the future of the team and built around him, he comes out and he says he likes him. How do you make that call yesterday? I hope they gave him a heads up earlier. I'm sure they did. Finding out on social. How many stories do we hear about players that go?
I found out when you found out on social media.
I found out when you guys.
No, I think that they probably would give him the common courtesy of letting him know why they did it. Yeah. They had to weigh the pros and the cons, and probably at the end of that conversation, they must have persuaded Jalen Brunson to see it the same way that they're seeing it, for him to just be like, okay, it is what it is. But I guess we'll see. I have to see who they choose to replace him, because if you give me a Steve Nash or something like that, I'm gonna be like, what was the point? You gotta, if you're gonna go hard, if you're gonna swing this big, you better make sure you swing for the fences.
So it's interesting on that dynamic, because you still have Taylor Jenkins out there. He was shockingly fired by the Grizzlies. You have Michael Malone, who's shockingly fired by the Nuggets. You still have Budenholzer out there. Somebody brought up Sam Cassell. Sounds like I think Jay Wright that ship has sailed, old Villanova coach, because they have so many Villanova players on there. And I buy
wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be something? I guess, I should probably put more stock into it. And I think
I tell you what, if you was talking to Jalen Brunson and said, well, yeah, we're going to fire Tom Thibodeau, but we bringing in Jay Wright, he'd be like, oh, we'll fire him.
Yeah, I get it. I get where you're going, man. You're not wrong. And if you're Jay Wright, like, yeah, all these guys. It is the Knicks, and it's a high-pressure thing, but you're going to get a bag to do that, and I'd listen to it. I guess I'm not Jay Wright. But,
I mean, coaches, just your money's guaranteed. I go out there and get fired. Why not?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's all good.
You still go pay me.
The twist in this, though, the Suns are down to 2 Cavs assistants, and one of them is Johnny Bryant, who was a former Knicks assistant. He was Donovan Mitchell's guy.
Yep.
And they were able to get him into Cleveland as an assistant. I think he's going to be up for one of those 2 jobs. He could be a little sneaky dark horse in that whole thing, too. Johnny Bryant going back to the Knicks. Want to remind everybody, Adam Schefter's coming up today. Rothman and Ice, 12:30 today for Shefty there, and Bobby on as well. Plenty coming up here on The Fan, including a new thing coming to the shoe. I'm super excited about it. We'll tell you what it is. This is T-Bone and Tyvis, back in 2 minutes.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there. So we are noticing a couple of slowdowns out on the roads this morning, but no major accidents to report as of right now. So we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be starting tonight and tomorrow night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Greenlawn Avenue to 71 northbound. That ramp will be closed. A good detour for you, just so you know. Take 71 southbound all the way to State Route 104 eastbound, then hop back on 71 northbound. A little bit of a loop, a little bit of ways away, but nothing too concerning if you're making your way out the door for that area. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Home Depot has fast, free delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad do more this Father's Day. Because Dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Power Dad's doing with Ryobi cordless outdoor power tools from the Home Depot, like the Ryobi 40-volt string trimmer kit for $159. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We all love the shoe. It is, I'm going to say, one of the most, I was about to say the most iconic venue in sports. There's quite a few. I don't get that crazy this morning on you, but I'm just saying it is one of my favorite spots. I love going there, and they've got some renovations coming that's going to make it even that much better. It's T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week alongside former Ohio State Buckeye Tyvis Powell played. So, Tyvis, I got to ask you, what is this? I'm putting you on the spot here. You've been to games as a player, obviously. You've been to games as a fan. What is the biggest difference that, obviously you're playing on the field, but just what's that? I'll never have that experience of walking down the tunnel, getting ready to go versus being up in the seats. I've been in the press box. I've been all over that stadium. Is there something that just stands out to you as the biggest difference as a player versus a fan going to the shoe?
I mean, well, as a player, obviously you're not in the. I tell you what, the biggest thing is the bathroom.
Okay, That's what I'm looking for.
That's the biggest difference. Right? As a player, obviously, you got your own locker room, or you could just be on the sideline and have somebody cover you up. So you always got a place to go to where, as a fan, them lines be long, and then it's like a, what is it, like a little bathtub that you use?
In a trough.
That part can be fixed a lot. I know Bo was talking about the sound system in the shoe. Back when I was playing though, it was fine. Like I never really seen an issue with it, but I guess over the years maybe it's just more outdated and they need to do something with it. I haven't been able to catch a game at the shoe in quite some time. Obviously I've been to the spring games and stuff like that, but I haven't caught a game to where I was able to hear all this music and stuff that, but people say that the sound system isn't great anymore.
Yeah, the sounds. I love how they've changed some of the signage too. The lighting up and like obviously having the lights for the night games. But this is something that's going to have, and I appreciate Ohio State so much for this about the modernization of it, because they could easily just sit there and say, it's the shoe, enjoy it. There's going to be some deficiencies, but you're at the shoe. It helps kind of with the ambiance. That's not how they're taking this approach. And they announced yesterday plans to construct field box suites on the south and the open end. I don't think I've ever called it the south end. I've always ever just called it the open end of the shoe. And they will have not only 9 field level suites, 12-person capacity in each of those suites, there will be 400 premium chairback seats on top of them, with then an additional option for people to get into a club, to be able to get in the 1922 club, which is all-inclusive food and drink opportunities. Deposits for the chairback seats are actually now being accepted. Fans have until June 27th to reserve their seats and become one of the first members of the 1922 club, and then also get the seats and be able to get in. Tyvis, it starts at, the pricing is only, I say only, it's relative, but everything that you get. Some of those seats start at just $6,000 for the season. And, I think about that, about being down in the shoe and being there to have these renovations. And then an offshoot of this, the marching band announced they're going back to the north end of the stadium, which they have not been in since the 2001 renovation of Ohio Stadium. So the band's going to move back over to the north side. They're adding in 9 premium suites with the 400 seats on top of it with the chairback. Tyvis, I love this. I think this is so great, and I love the vision of you'll never tear down Ohio Stadium. That's just never going to happen.
No,
they got rid of Yankee Stadium, which I get. You're never tearing down Fenway. You're never tearing down, I don't think they're ever going to tear down Wrigley. And the shoe is something that is like that, but you're just going to have these modern innovations and changes. I can't tell you. I don't know why I'm so excited about this. It's like I just put my premium deposit down, and I'm going to be down there for all these games. I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, I would definitely love to have the chairback seat on top of the thing. I think that's a pretty cool view. It puts you pretty close to the action as well, and the suites is fine, but it kind of shields off the atmosphere a little bit.
Sure.
So I've never been a huge fan of being in the suite. Obviously, when it's the conditions are bad, I don't have an issue with that at all. But I think the chairbacks on top of it though, you can still feel the atmosphere. You're still in it, and the elements and things like that. I think that'd actually be pretty darn cool.
And especially you're still in the open end. You're still on that side of it, and. Again, I've sat in a lot of the different decks there, and I just think there's something about sitting there. I don't know why. I think it's really cool. So where they're going to add it there, and they're kind of taking the idea that you've seen at Mercedes-Benz Stadium and even at Jerry's World, right? Where these suites, you could be having a player run into your suite. You're on the field, you're at the back of the ends. I hope that doesn't happen, but you're right in it and a part of it. And I again, the enhancements that they're really thinking about, it's just that small step. But
you brought up an interesting thing. Having a player run into your suite, it makes me think about this, and I'm going to sound like the old guy in the room when I say this. When did they allow players to celebrate in college? Because back when I was banging, it was a 15-yard penalty and a hard conversation with Coach Meyer. So when did they get to just do all this stuff that they be doing and it ain't no penalty? I'm jealous. That's really what it is.
I got it for you, man. I got 3 letters for you, and you know what they're going to be. NIL. These guys, these kids, I'm talking about specifically about football. It's a brand now, Tyvis. And if you start to squash the brand, like there's so many conversations about there are those like sticks in the mud, right? Where like Thibodeau at Clemson, he's like, I ain't getting on board with this. And you had some guys that even that retired. If there are schools there, you either get on board with NIL or watch that train run you over. Because if you're not going to be able to help out with these kids and their recruiting on that side, it's the brand now. It's the brand. I think that's a part of it. I do.
I'm jealous. You know how many celebrations I had ready to go?
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. And like you said, you do anything on a line. Nope, 15 yards. And then, you got to go talk to Coach Meyer. And he's going
to say, come sit next to me. You're going to sit this series out.
We're going to have a conversation. I should mention, too, this will all be 2026 for this. So, obviously, some of it's going to be, they're going to be making all these changes and going. But these new suites will be in there for the south end zone for 2026 for Ohio Stadium. And again, I think as they evolve what the stadium is going to be, there's always going to be some stuff like the structure of it. They could replace a lot of this. Like if you go for a night game, you see the extra tower, of the lights because they just have so much of it. But just seeing what the vision of the field is going to be or what the stadium is going to be, I think is awesome. And then obviously knowing that Ohio State, those suites will be sold out for every game. Those suites will have every seat taken up, and it's just it works in so many different levels.
And it's coming at a good time. I mean, Ohio State got to figure out ways to generate more money now that the revenue sharing is coming in. So, this is something that, fans would definitely pay for. Those seats probably going to be the hottest seats in town, and you could charge a nice, pretty penny for them and know that they're probably going to sell out every game.
They described them in the press release as the widest chairback seats in the stadium.
Oh.
So you're going to have
for
nice
the bigger guy. T-Bone would love that.
T-Bone's going to love it. And I'm telling you, I know you and him are going to get – you guys call me or anybody out there. You just let Tyvis, T-Bone, and myself know if you get those starting next year and you just – hey, my buddy can't show up. You go ahead and give us a call. We're going to be there. Even though Tyvis isn't a fan of the suite, that's all right. We'll sneak our way into one of those coming up in a little bit. All right, Bo's going to join us. Preview a little bit coming up on Bishop and Friends. This is T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still noticing some slowdowns if you're making your way out the door, particularly in the Dublin and Hilliard area. 270 northbound, particularly at 57 miles per hour. So a little bit congested there. Nothing too concerning. Over by Gahanna, though, on the east side, 670 westbound, a little bit more concerning. Those slowdowns there, 41 miles per hour on that route. Nothing too bad, though. Just lots of people heading into the city this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu with your fan traffic.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. It change is more exciting. I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HinderMotorCompany.com.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teens require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a Big Gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Don't miss the Reds going against the Diamondbacks June 6th through the 8th in a 3-game series at GABP. Enjoy another post-game fireworks show on Friday, presented by PNC. Come back on Saturday when fans in attendance receive a Tyler Stevenson City Connect bobblehead thanks to St. Elizabeth Healthcare while supplies last. Wrap up the weekend Sunday with family and friends and some afternoon baseball. Get your tickets now at Reds.com/tickets.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Wrap things up here on T-Bone and Tyvis. You got Matt Fontana this week for T-Bone. Tyvis Powell. We talked about Bishop coming up, of course, Bishop and friends, and I got to touch when we get to the buzzer. They got to step in and get Paul Skeens out.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Hey guys, and we welcome in Bo Bishop, Bishop and friends. Bo, great to talk to you as always, man.
This is great.
This is awesome. The MLB's got to step in and force Paul Skeens out of Pittsburgh. The guy is second in baseball with an ERA. He joins Pedro Martinez, the first pitcher since 2000 to lose 2 starts in a season where he went 8 innings, gave up 1 or less run, walked 1 or less, and struck out 8. And then he's sitting there going, well, I'm not watching the offense. You know, it's not my fault. Like, dude, Bo, they have got to get Paul Skeens. They're going to ruin him in Pittsburgh. Get him out of there now.
Is this Livy Dunn's boyfriend? He plays baseball?
Yeah.
Yes. Is that the sport he does?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that something that goes on in the summer?
She's doing splits on the runway. Did you see that?
Did you see? Yeah. Not hard to see. I mean, she's big. She's a big hit with the 13-year-old.
Oh,
that's.
yeah, I can
I
imagine.
mean, he's.
That's his crush, huh?
Yeah, he's pretty locked in. Her and Sydney Sweeney, they're kind of like the ones.
Oh, tell him that
better check those orders. Tyvis, don't tell him about that. He doesn't. He's 13. He doesn't need to know about
Sydney
that.
Sweeney just broke off her engagement. He got a shot.
Oh, I thought you were going
Well,
to talk
he's a
about
bishop.
the other Sydney Sweeney.
Be in a room. be in a room, talk emphatically. You never know what'll happen.
Listen, he listening right now. He said, "Really, the engagement's off?"
That's it.
You need to check
That's
those.
all you need.
Check those orders because Sydney's she's got something available for purchase out there. That
Dude, I saw the bath water.
Yeah, the bath water and the soap thing.
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her. But anyway,
God
Paul
bless her.
Skeens.
It's look, we see this, right? And it's interesting. Like the way that we do things in North American sports is the really bad teams draft first, and when you do, sometimes you hit it. And the Pirates have with him. He's kind of a no-brainer. His story's crazy, from Air Force Academy to LSU to national champion and player of the year and all of it. Landing Livy Dunn, all of the things that he did. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just don't know if it'll ever come to fruition. He's only in year 2. So, I mean, I understand the idea of like getting rid of him, but at the same point, like what would be the bounty that would even make sense? And, it's hard to wrap your head around. I found out yesterday that the Galbraiths, who were around here for years, owned the Pirates when they won the 3 championships in the one in the 60s and then the 2 in the 70s. And it was weird. They were the Pirates were the first team. They were the first ownership and the first team to have $1 million player. It was Dave Parker in '79. Wow. Yeah. So it wasn't always this way, right? There was a time when they were a little bit of a different operation. So yeah, I mean, he's early into his process. I'm not going to feel too bad for him by all of the things we just kind of checked off. Seems like his life's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say it works out. Like, Tyvis, it's got to be hard, too, to be a player like him, and he gets asked all these questions, and he does it the best that he can of, like, not ripping his teammates, but also knowing, like, dude, what else do you want me to do? I'm giving up 1 run and losing these games,
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, when you think about baseball and how, it's losing, its viewership, people aren't paying attention as much. Really with him, like, he's must see, but like, don't nobody really want to watch the Pirates because they're not going to win the game. So you want him on a meaningful team. Say what, you know who will really appreciate him? The Guardians. We take him with flying colors. I trade half the roster for him.
I get a trade going for him. I would absolutely. I'd give. You're not, Tyvis. You're not even kidding. I would probably give up half the roster.
I was ready to
Jose and Quan.
I was ready to sell equity to Shohei Ohtani to get him here.
Anything.
Yeah, that'd be an easy sell for him. Orange County, Los Angeles, Cleveland.
And we got water. We're on the water. There is
water.
There's water.
You can't argue. I don't know if they have midges in the Pacific Ocean.
It builds character, is what it does. You're getting to the car and having to swat them off the car.
A lot of
and
vitamins.
Everything else. That is true as well. But I want to get your thoughts because Tyvis said he prefers to be out in the seat. We were talking about the Ohio State renovations coming up for next year with the new seating, and we're both really excited about it. Tyvis dropped that he'd prefer to be out in it, not the elements, but he likes being in seats more than suites because he gets the ambiance.
Well, Bo is bougie, so.
I wanted to ask, are you a suite or a seat guy?
How many times have you been in the seats at Ohio Stadium, Mr. Powell?
Wait a minute. For a game?
Yeah. For an actual game.
Okay, so not
to be a fan.
So not the spring game.
No, not the spring. No, a real game.
Twice.
See?
Twice. I was right there behind the, right there with
sure you were.
Where the
right
recruit sit, right there behind the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Yeah, your recruiting trip doesn't count either.
Look, this is a real one, though, from the standpoint of, and this is Ross Bjork job 1. It really is. He's got about 50 job 1s, but one of them is they have to modernize that place. It's a cathedral. It is awesome. It's all of that. But it is also impossible that the bathroom situation is what it is. It's impossible how hard it is to try to get in and out. All of those things are absolutely brutal, and they have to find a way to modernize it. What he's doing with this seating is, guys, it's found money. This is something they already have, and now all of a sudden with a minor adjustment, he added 400 seats and they added 6 luxury boxes, I think is what it ended up being. So now they added a premium component because they have to find money now. They know they're going to have to pay players at some point, and they're trying to bank as much as they can to be able to do it. Because it's not like any of them are giving their salaries back, right? So you basically have to find money. And in the old days, this is what's going to make the stadium thing so fascinating. In the old days, stadiums were something that donors put their names on, and then you got the big money, right? I mean, it's the Woody Hayes at the Wex, right? Or Wex or whatever it is. Wex at the Woody, whatever you want to call it. So those type of situations are gone or are much harder to come by now because those same folks that used to give the big money to the athletic department are now paying for NIL. And so they're being pulled at by both the NIL funds and from the university. So it's coming at them from both ways, and there's some donor fatigue that's happening. So any sort of major renovation or any sort of undertaking that requires big capital fundraising is going to be, you're going to be asking the same money from the same folks who are giving the money for NIL, and they're fatigued by it. So it's much more challenging now than it ever has been. But to answer your question, I want to be in a suite, or I want to be in the, honestly, my favorite place to watch a game at Ohio Stadium is a press box, because it's
I do
high
like
up and you can see everything.
Bougie.
Yeah.
All right, but press box isn't bougie.
Yes, it
No,
is.
that's the. That,
You don't want some of those animals in there. What are you
don't
talking
want to
about?
be in the elements. You can hear that crowd roar when you're in that press
Just
box.
open the windows.
Nah.
Jerry always opens the windows.
It is one of the most vertical press boxes I've ever been into. Like you
awesome.
are straight up, which
I missed
is
it
kinda
so
nice.
much, guys. When I because I went to all the games for so long, and then when I started just watch on TV, it drove me nuts because I couldn't tell what was happening downfield. They shoot the TV so tight that I couldn't. Are we missing guys? Are the guys open? We can't see them. Like that type of stuff used to drive me nuts. I love watching a game from the press box. Same way with hockey. Love it. Way up.
No, it's the best. All right, Bo, really appreciate you, man. Bishop and Friends coming up.
All
You
right,
guys
boys.
got Jake Trotter on today. 10:30,
right.
they'll be talking college football. It's always the best. Appreciate you, man.
All right, take care, guys.
There you go, Bo Bishop. And again, want to remind everybody, Rothman and Ice coming up 12:30. Adam Schefter on today with all the latest around the NFL. We touched on a lot of it today. Tyvis, I wanted to give you a quick second if you wanted to take it off for the YouTube streamers.
No, you want one more time? One last time? Look, one last time for
One
all
last
the people
time.
out there. This is what it looks like to get your hair done.
There it goes. Appreciate you, man. All the best. We'll recap it all tomorrow. We got you coming up NHL today. We'll get back in the NBA, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. For Tyvis Powell, I'm Matt Fontaine. Appreciate you tuning in. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there. Well, some good news here. No major crashes to report as of now. So we do want to let you know about a ramp closure that's going to be starting tonight and tomorrow night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. This is happening 70 eastbound to Livingston Ford Street. Again, that ramp will be closed. A great detour for you, though. If you're heading in this area, continue on 70 eastbound past that closured ramp to Parsons Avenue southbound and hop over to Livingston Avenue. Should save you a little bit of time as you make your way to that area tonight. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu. Make it a great day.
Wake up and cash. It's Top Picks on Morning Juice. Powered by WeWinUwin.com. Professional sports bettor Chad Patrick. Dropping plays and juicing up your Friday mornings with fresh picked winners. WeWinUwin.com. Built by winners for winners. Stop guessing and start cashing.
Get Eco.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, it's that time of year again.
What time is that?
The time all the air conditioners start breaking down.
Oh, that time. Yep, every year.
Get Eco.
Like a swarm of bees. They all get together in a coordinated effort.
You mean the Queen air conditioner tells them all to break down?
Nah, they just get tuckered out in the heat, Aaron. Can we handle all the calls?
Sure, we have a swarm of highly trained coolness experts standing by.
Get Eco.
And we have $3.5 million in new service trucks to get them there the day you call.
The same day? Well, what if you don't call until...
We'll come as late as you'll stay up to let us in. Same day.
That explains all the revving engines.
It's like a beehive of activity, Jerry.
Do you know I invented that weird Scoopy thing you serve honey with?
You should invent something for ketchup, Jerry. It's America.
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm one of the at-home coaches with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Honestly, I think the thing I hear the most is I didn't realize how easy it was. That first weekly they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I already noticed that I'm not as bloated in my face or in my abdomen, or I've been sleeping better. I've been waking up with so much more energy. I don't need my coffee throughout the day. They're coming in a month or two later and they're like, hey, like my doctor said I need to lower my meds. I'm losing a ton of inches on my waist. I'm buying new pant sizes. And we're looking at the scale. And we're like, yeah, your visceral fat's down again. That's fantastic. And we're celebrating all of these wins. And then we talk about Okay, next up, let's talk about how to maintain it. This isn't over. This is just the next stage. That's what your health coach is there for.
Thanks, Mandy. This is Scotty Vegas. Easy weight loss with results that actually last. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will succeed and you'll enjoy the process. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
He shoots, he scores! It's a great time of year to be a fan, but the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. Maryhaven is here to help with in-person, virtual, and group options. Learn more at maryhaven.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at RCDRV.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at RCDRV.com.
Looking to buy a home? CME Federal Credit Union has got you covered. With a 5-1 adjustable rate mortgage from CME, you can lock in a low rate, starting as low as 5.5% for the first 5 years. And with low closing costs, you can save even more. Ready to get started? Visit CMEFCU.org today to begin your journey to home ownership. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.